Episode 42, Lost in the Script. Casualties. I'm a casualty of Duke being late again. Y'all guessed it.
Here we go with this shit, man.
40
How y'all
minutes,
doing,
40
man?
minutes late.
He come in complaining. How y'all doing?
I'm not complaining.
We got a nice, long, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. A lot of stuff to talk about.
It's been a lot of shit going on for the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, a lot of stuff been going on. Hope y'all having a good day or whenever you watch this night.
A positive and blessed day.
But anyway, man, let's go ahead and get right into it. The story, we're just going to jump through it right now because it's old news at this point. We'll see the ramifications of it coming up. But as far as right now, it's kind of old news already. And that is Cardi B wins her lawsuit against a YouTuber.
We knew she was going to win. It ain't nothing new. We knew she was going to win.
Oh, yeah. I mean, let's be honest. No offense.
She what?
She should have won.
I don't think she should have won.
She was able to get enough, regardless if you think it's real or not, she was able to get enough proof that it was lies at least. Or at least
lies that was covered, things that was covered up.
Maybe so. Tasha wasn't able to prove her point.
Or Tasha didn't want to prove her point because
that too. She even admitted that she did it for money. I think that was her trying to prove it wasn't a malice intent behind
malicious.
Malicious intent behind it, but that didn't go well. Cardi B sued YouTuber vlogger Tasha K for claiming that the rapper, whose real name is whatever, contacted her for you know the story. Okay, now Tasha K has released her reaction to the case. She's kind of already moving on. She's been on social media the whole time. She didn't go 0 to dark 30. She continued to post and all this stuff. So she's about to go back to her life.
She was a casualty.
Exactly. This was a casualty of her war. The 4 million just a casualty because she's gonna be bigger than she ever was after this. More than likely, I'll be shocked.
Is she taking Wendy Williams' place? Because Wendy Williams has been going through a lot for the past 2 years.
People been saying that for 2 years, and it ain't happened yet. I don't know.
There's speculation that Wendy Williams is not going to be returning to her syndicated talk show.
Well, if it does, it's good for her, I guess. The Atlanta jury awarded Cardi nearly $3 million in punitive damages and attorney fees on Tuesday in her LaBelle lawsuit against celebrity gossip blogger Tasha K. The award comes at the top of $1.25 million the jury awarded on Monday after finding Tasha K, whose real name is Tasha K, liable on counts of defamation, invasion of privacy, and infliction of emotional distress on Cardi B, who's whatever. Cardi in 2009, all this stuff. On Tuesday, the jurors ordered Kevy to pay an additional $1 million in punitive damages for her and her company, Kevy Studios LLC, to pay another $500,000 on top of that. Kevy was required to reimburse Cardi for the personal cost of bringing the lawsuit, total of $1.3 million. They're bringing the total verdict to nearly $4.1 million. That's confirmed by Cardi B's lawyer, Lisa F. Moore. Okay. They said that Cardi tried to get her to take the video down. She said no. She saw the lawsuit coming. I've already said she kind of knew she was going to take this on the chin to get bigger, to grow more. When you were into this vlogger, I think she's trying to get past the vlogger thing. Don't she have her own website?
I don't know.
I
don't know nothing about Tasha K.
A real gossip. She's trying to become, TMZ. What was that gossip talk show on E! News a few years ago? Like 15 years ago?
I don't know.
The one that the dude from BET Wanted Us Apart went to.
AJ?
No, not AJ.
Terrence. Terrence?
I think she's trying to get like a TV show like he was on where they talk about celebrity news, TMZ level, because you get sued a lot in that industry. You're going to get sued a lot. You're going to lose some, you're going to win some. But this was her foot in the door right here. Just for her, this was her foot in the door. She can continue doing what she's been doing. She's going to get better lawyers. She's going to learn from this, and she's going to become a force probably in the future. The downside is we don't know what this is going to lead to as far as YouTube now.
Exactly.
YouTube more than likely is going to add some restrictions. They're going to change some
more restrictions.
They're going to change some of their rules and stuff. More than likely, they're going to make it where when you do if you're one of those people to do those gossip,
not just
opinionated, or even if you do any type of news reporting on anything, they're going to say, well, we don't know if we can monetize this because da 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 da.
They don't monetize it.
So this might anybody who has a channel that got a nice size platform, they're gonna be the ones that take the hit first. Anybody who's growing into it, we might be able to get around it if we continue to grow. This won't really hit us because this ain't nothing to us. But it's probably somebody who's living off of YouTube.
Might be time to go back and get a 9 to 5.
If you living off YouTube now, we'll see what YouTube does first. We don't know if they're gonna do something first.
We ain't living off YouTube.
Now you still will if you got enough of a platform. That's why they added the super chats. They got memberships. YouTube trying to make
Patreon.
That's the thing. The reason why YouTube added the super chats and the membership is so that they can keep you on YouTube. They don't want you to go to Patreon. They don't have no money in that. They want to keep you on YouTube. So they don't want to run because they know a lot of these people with platforms, they're leave. I just go to hell. Tasha K has a Patreon. Like everybody has a Patreon. Kevin Samuels, all them. You have to. So
if you want to generate any revenue for your work,
that's where your money comes from. The Patreon. So YouTube is trying to keep people on their platform. So I don't think they're going to be too harsh, but we'll see what happens. But yeah. You got any more to say on that?
We're done with the turtle story, so we can move on to the next subject.
Well, we're going to just talk about this right quick. Chris Brown accused of drugging and raping woman on yacht.
Every time this man has an album or anything he's getting ready to drop, there's some alleged allegations that come out against him. Like the UK one?
Yeah, and that kind of just went away.
It went away in literally
the media blew that story
5 hours.
The media blew that story up in a few minutes. Literally 5 hours later, they had to retaken out all those stories. Didn't apologize. Didn't say, "Oh, we were wrong." It's amazing how many think pieces popped up so fast. Chris Brown is a real menace, and we didn't stop him soon enough before he did this.
This Negro is definitely wicked. He's part of the industry, but I don't believe that the things he's been accused of he is doing in that aspect.
And the woman is saying 20 million. Yeah, Chris Brown has been
unnamed accused. Again too. Sorry, she's unnamed again, like the UK person was.
Normally, when a woman whenever a woman accuses a man, they normally don't put her name out there until after the case or when it's forced to in the court. Chris Brown has been accused of drugging and assaulting a woman and being sued for 20 million, 14.9 million euros. So is that not euros? That's pounds, right? Wait, what country is this in?
Where are you reading?
This is BBC, so this is pounds.
Yeah.
The alleged assault reported took place in yacht and this
This is in America, though.
No, I've sent this article. It's BBC. It's a British company.
Okay.
Or British publication. British Broadcasting Company.
Yeah, you're right.
All right. 30th December 2020 in Miami, Florida. Radio 1 News Beat has contacted Chris Brown's management record label for comment, but they have yet to respond. When he did respond on Instagram, Chris Brown has seemingly responded on his Instagram story suggesting he is being sued because he's releasing new music. I hope y'all see this pattern. Whenever I'm releasing music or projects, he wrote, the lawsuit has been filed by an unidentified personal dancer and musician who is named only as Jane Doe in legal documents. Documents detail 5 separate allegations against the singer: sexual assault, violation of gender violence statute. What the hell is that? Intentional infliction of emotional distress, neglect, infliction of emotional distress, and false imprisonment.
So wouldn't you be seeking jail time instead of $20 million?
The woman claims she fears for her life and career. Hold on.
Damn, Chris Brown got people fearing for their life. He got goons.
So is she saying that if I don't do something to him, my career's not gonna be able to take off? But he's blackballed from the industry. Like, there's nothing he can really do to you. Well, I don't know. He might still got influence. She's saying she was invited to the yacht at a property owned by rapper and producer Diddy, where the alleged incident took place. According to the document seen in the news beat, the woman claims she was offered drinks by Brown after arriving and later felt sudden, unexplained change in consciousness.
Quaaludes, trying to say she got eye openers.
Hold on, Travis. We're gonna talk about that later. But she's trying to say she got Bill Cosby.
Hold on, don't do Bill Cosby.
You know
like
we do that. I'm not saying. Look,
that's disrespectful, dude. It's disrespectful.
Look, do I believe? Man, let's
have
stop.
Some respect for you. Let's have some respect for your elders.
Stop. Did he give women drugs? Yes. Did they want them? Yes. Let's stop the mess about. Oh man, we know he definitely had.
Then why you gotta say Bill Cosby? Don't do the elder like that.
It's pop culture. When somebody gets known for, you use them as a damn verb.
So he's a joke. He
Huh?
he's come from this established Mr. Cosby to now you being Bill Cosby.
It claims she became disoriented, physically unstable, and started to fall and out of sleep before being led to the bedroom where Brown allegedly undressed and assaulted her. Brown is said to have contacted the woman the following day, telling her to take an emergency contraceptive. Wait, hold on.
So he cared about her.
So he didn't want you to get pregnant. But he called you like, make sure, come on, man.
He didn't want no more kids, so.
Newsweek also attempted to contact Representative Diddy, but is yet to receive a response.
Oh, they waiting on Diddy to respond?
That's what they said, man. It is what it is.
Diddy too busy.
It is what it is. All right, let's go ahead and get to the story you went to.
What story?
What you think?
Oh, Chris Brown?
No.
What?
What you mean?
What are you talking about?
You confused as hell right now. It's crazy. Bill Cosby, Negro.
Oh, this story?
Yeah.
I think they need to let it go. Why they still talking about Bill Cosby? The man was released, acquitted of his charges, and they will not let it go.
We need to talk about Bill. Well, he called it. We need to talk about Cosby. This was directed by that Kamau Bell.
Oh, who has a white lineage?
Bell. Look, man, y'all don't know this. Sometimes I try to walk y'all through the storyline.
I don't walk people.
And
I drag their ass.
He just jumps and just cut it off. Like, look,
come on, nigga. We don't got time. We need to speed up.
Through what we gonna talk
time
about.
Is going by fast now. We don't got time to walk you.
I try to line it up real nice and connect the story.
It's like the workplace. We so short on employees, we don't have time to train. It's the on-job training. Today you got to get this. If you don't get it, we got to move on.
But damn, man, let me walk people through it.
I ain't walk. Well, I will walk with you. We ain't doing touched by an angel shit.
Damn, man, I'm trying to be professional.
And nigga, I'm not being professional. You see the shots?
Hold on.
Shot.
Anyway, let's get to
I'm not professional.
Uh-oh. All right. Okay, we good. This is the article written. Anyway.
Look at Janet Dickerson, old looking ass.
In Bell's Showtime docuseries, one interviewer said at Cosby Show, "I don't believe that the people on that set didn't know what was happening."
Janet Dickerson came out and said that she lied about him saying that,
Yep.
And she said she mad they let him out. Bitch, get the fuck out of here.
The new Showtime docuseries We Need to Talk About Cosby is nuanced retelling of comedian Bill Cosby's professional life, addressing both his decades of success and dozens of sexual assaults he alleged to have perpetuated during that time. Written and directed by comedian Bill, the project, which premiered on Saturday at the 2022 Sundance Film Festival, spends its third hour focusing on his behavior during the peak of his career on The Cosby Show. One account in particular from what the time is sure to leave viewers wondering if others on the set knew about Cosby's behavior. Steve Watkins, the director assistant of the pivotal NBC series, says in the docuseries that the show taping would have had a general audience, often including families. But then you get to this one pocket where there's about 20 to 25 women dressed to the nines. They're all models and they look like it. It's like, wow, what in the world's going on up there? What we learned later was a modeling agency would bring these girls over and they would talk to Mr. Cosby. Two actors who appeared in the show, Joseph C. Phillips and that Lily Bernard.
Yeah.
The latter of whom has accused Cosby of sexual assault. Remember those women being brought to the TV dad's dressing room after the show? There are always a long line of beautiful women, all different shades, says Bernard. Yeah, they were lined up outside in the dressing room, poor things going in and out. Phillips, who recurred on the series, Lieutenant Martin Kendall, adds, I guess they would read, or I don't know what went on, and then they would go out. It was just kind of like in the air. It was just kind of like the air. You know it was there, and nobody knew, and everybody knew it. One such model, Eden, appeared in the docuseries and shares what was like to catch Cosby's attention after her agent brought her to taping. After saying a quick hello to the TV star after the episode ended, she says, "The following morning, I get a phone call from my agent. You just got the part in the Cosby Show. He wants you next week on the show to play a cop." She jokes. Now, don't get me wrong. Women can play cops, but dress blue cops walking the beat in New York at 22 and 6 feet tall, it just seemed a little odd.
So that's the gentleman right there who's on the Bill Cosby TV show, and he's saying that he saw this happen.
He's saying he didn't accuse him of nothing, at least in this quote. He's just saying, yeah, there were women there, and I think they were going in there reading and stuff. I don't know. She adds, "This is my first television role." Da 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 da. Special sensing special treatment. She said, "I knew enough to know that this is all now getting really strange, and I'm uncomfortable right away." On the first day of rehearsal, she said she was mysteriously pulled away by a man named Frank Scotty, who she later learned was Cosby's assistant. She says she was spared a visit by the comedian the first day, but the second day, we're rehearsing and Scotty comes, and this time I say I would not leave the set, says the art actress. And I talked to two people, and they said I don't want to leave the set, and they said just go. This happens all the time. Just go. So she went on to go with him. Yeah, she said Cosby finally showed up in the dressing room and uncharacteristically locked the door. He just said really pointedly, "Eden, you know that you can have anything you want, right? You want it, right? You do understand who I am." And I said, "Bill, you are Fat Albert, and the Cosby kids, you are Jello pudding pops to me." According to the actress, Cosby's mood changed instantly and replied, "Don't say that to me. They all say that to me." She basically said, "No, I'm trying to get to the part where she said, right here you go." She alleges that Cosby then had her stand up, put her arms out, and turn around before pressing himself behind her for an acting exercise, where he mirrored her movements. It's very oppressive and it feels sexual, the former model says in the doc. In the end, Cosby allegedly told her, "This is this is all we're going to do. Make love. This is making love." So let me get this straight. She's saying the only instance of sexual harassment that she got from him was him standing behind her, mimicking her movements. Like, I mean, you don't want to say it?
White women.
Is she the white woman?
Ain't that woman right there?
Yeah, that's her.
Is she not white?
Yeah, I think she is.
Yeah, you think? There you
Damn,
go
Jay.
again. Let's like
No,
Betty
we're
Motts.
gonna get somebody later.
Like
Saying
Betty
it
Motts.
is what it is, you know. Look, man.
Passing white.
So he did this docuseries about Bill Cosby, and Bill Cosby's team obviously came out and responded to this. He slammed it. The Fall of America's Dad in the center of Kumin Bell's 4-part docuseries when you talk about Cosby was debuted in 2022.
Why haven't we had a documentary about we need to talk about Mr. Harvey Weinstein?
When they let him kind of go underneath the shadows.
Yeah.
Now a spokesman for Cosby is slamming the series ahead of the release, calling Bell a PR hack behind the camera. Let's talk about Bill Cosby. An official statement reads, as reported by the People, Mr. Cosby has spent more than 50 years standing with the excluded, made it possible for some to be included, standing with the disenfranchised, and standing with those women and men who were denied respectful work because of race and gender within the space of the entertainment industry. Expenses of the entertainment industry. The statement continued. Let's talk about Bill Cosby. Mr. Cosby continues to be targeted of numerous media that have for too many years distorted and omitted truths intentionally. Despite media's repetitive reports of allegations against Mr. Cosby, none have ever been proven in any court of law. After being found guilty of 3 counts of aggravated indecent assault in 2018, Cosby was sentenced to 3 to 10 years in prison. More than 2 years into his sentence, the Pennsylvania Supreme Court overturned Cosby's conviction due to a due process violation in which the district attorney broke an agreement and made with Cosby to not use a confession against him via People. Cosby representative notes, let's talk about Bill Cosby. In June 2021, the Pennsylvania State Supreme Court released Mr. Cosby in the Court of Chief of Justice to find the Pennsylvania Montgomery Court District Attorney's behavior as reprehensible. Mr. Cosby knows the realities and prosecutorial violations, and that those violations are threats to the integrity of our nation's criminal justice system. That is a subject matter for professional documentary. Look, what do you think the purpose of this being released is?
I think the purpose is still to discredit this man. We saw Lamont Hill do it. After he was released, he went on a smearing campaign on BNC Still talking about Bill Cosby. This man has been acquitted on all charges, and he still was talking shit about him.
You think it's just to discredit him?
I don't know. It's like they just won't let it go, or is this documentary coming out to cover up the secrets of Mr. Hugh Hefner to kind of like
we'll
take
talk
your
about
mind
Hugh
off
Hefner.
of that?
We'll talk about Hugh Hefner. We know Cosby is a Mason.
Yes, we do.
He's connected. We can't. It's not really a joke, but something that's used as a joke against people who defend Bill Cosby. They say, "Oh, he was trying to buy NBC." You know.
But there's certain levels that black people can get to in Masonry. Being a Freemason, there's certain levels you can't get to.
That's true. That's why they have the what's the black one called?
I mean, they
Prince
like
Hall. That's called Prince Hall. Ain't it called Prince Hall?
Prince Hall. They
That's
like,
the
nigga,
black
we
version.
can't let you buy.
Well, he's not a Freemason. He's a Prince Hall Mason.
Yeah, they like, nigga, we can't let you buy the News Channel.
I don't think that's why they did this. Like
he was overstepping his boundaries.
I think they did this to change society the same way we're gonna talk about how Playboy did, Mr. Hugh Hefner did years ago. They're using him again. I think a lot of this stuff that happened in 2016, was that 15, all the way up to about 2018, was used to reprogram society and the dynamics between men and women. The things that people saw as just flirting, just seemed like innocent flirting, is now seen as
like
sexual harassment. It's seen as harassment now. It's like, well, damn, okay.
Do you consider catcalling harassment?
Yes. Remember that they released that video. I forgot what company it was. And they walked through a black neighborhood in New York.
It had to be a black neighborhood.
And for one day, and all they released was like an hour of them walking by and people saying, "God bless you. You look good. How you doing, baby?" Like basic, like nothing even. One thing happened in that video that was crazy was the nut job that was following her for like a couple blocks. It was like, okay, that dude is tripping. They're like, why are you following this woman? He followed her for a couple blocks. It was like, okay, now that's the one that you should have focused on. All the rest of them was like, really? You walk by a dude and he say, "Have a nice day." That's harassment? Damn.
That's why people don't say shit now. You walk past them, don't say shit. When they get on the bus, they don't offer bus seats. Stand your ass up. Everything equal now.
And you see, that's how it go. There was a video.
Oh my God, nobody's gonna get up for her. No, she can stand. She got legs just like I got legs.
They have reprogrammed how men and women interact with each other in public and workplace, everywhere.
And that's just to depopulate too, as well.
There's less kids being born. Less people are in relationships. This is what this is for. To me, this is why I think they did this. Yep. It didn't just happen to Bill Cosby. It happened to it happened to some of the biggest names. And some of them, like I said, these aren't innocent people, but this was exposed with a purpose. And the way they framed it, they used powerful men in Hollywood to become the face of the average man in America. So they used what he was doing or what they was doing at them casting couches in Hollywood is the same as a man saying, "How you doing?" on the street. He's harassing you.
And what they still continue to do.
And you have, I can't remember her name. I can't remember who said that. It was a woman who was saying, "You are not," how she said, a dude was like, "Damn, I can't say hey." She's like, "You are not, you don't deserve my time. Like you don't automatically get my time. You don't have the right to say hello to me."
Okay.
And it was like, well, damn.
Don't say hello.
But this is what that's for though, to me. Now, this Bill Cosby thing came out, and before we get to that, let me show you, since you did bring it up. Make sure I show it. Here we go with this shit. God damn it. Love is Love. Comedian Bale, Melissa Hudson Bale. This is him and his wife.
What a surprise.
I just want to focus on one thing. In this article, he basically made this whole thing about what it's like to be in an interracial relationship and Hollywood relationships and how he get through and all this stuff. But there's one thing I want to focus on.
Love is love.
Listen to this. In a stand-up shows in San Francisco a few years ago, you used to offer a discount to people who brought a friend or date of a different race. What was your thinking behind that promotion? So he
wow, he was literally promoting.
So basically, you got in for a lower amount, a cheaper amount. You got a discount if you brought somebody who was the opposite race of you or a different race of you. Think about it for a second. This is a black man.
He ain't not a black man.
This is a black man who said,
He's not a black
if you
man.
bring somebody with you that's not of your race, I'll give you a lower amount of money. You get a discount. That's crazy. Then he said, in my mind, the only way for you to truly get to the end of racism is to get everybody in the room at the same time so that we can have these awkward conversations that many of us normally try to avoid. So basically, the only way we can get rid of racism is if we sleep with each other.
Which is
When
going
are
to
y'all gonna
completely
get over this
destroy
notion?
lineage, lines, and culture.
When are y'all gonna get over this notion that sleeping with somebody of another race means they're not racist?
Do you know how many people have sexual encounters with people of different races and they don't?
There was a video I saw on World Star, unfortunately, of a black person who has a child with another person of the race.
Who was this black person?
I don't know who she was. It was a black person who had a child with a man of another race. And the man, I guess they're not together anymore. He referred to her child as the N-word and said he hoped they don't get dark. It's like,
then why did you sleep with this person? You knew
that's
that
the point, because it's just sex. This means nothing.
it's lust.
That's all it is. This notion that if you get people in the room and force them to be friends and lay up with each other, that this is just crazy.
What it is you go and take out your lust on other. Some people take out their lust on other races of people because they don't want to do it to their own people.
So that offer at my show was my way to guarantee that the audience wouldn't just be predominantly a one racial group, no matter what that theater was located. It also got people thinking about race before they walked in the door. For me, that was necessary in doing a show about race and racism, mostly because, in my experience, white people don't think about their whiteness nearly enough. Okay,
But you married
so
your
white people
woman.
don't think about their whiteness enough. So you're saying they're innately, I want to say you saying they're racist, all of them. You're saying they are kind of blind to what's going on with you, but you decided to find one to marry.
They're the very people that always say they don't see color.
Also, I thought it would force people to think about who is in their immediate circle of friends. If you can't find a friend of a different race to bring to the show, then maybe you should think about why that is.
So you want people to go out and get friends?
So I can't just have black friends.
No, you can't just have black friends. You got to go have a white friend or Hispanic or Indian or Asian.
Also, as a person who is in an interracial relationship, it is a sneaky way to let those couples know that this is a safe, supportive space. In comedy spaces, I have found that overwhelmingly, interracial couples are generally the butt of easy jokes. I wanted to redefine that idea in a comedy context.
So you don't went to shows where people say something to you about being in a relationship with a white woman? Or you've seen that before?
It does happen a lot. Patrice O'Neal did it in one of his funny jokes. That Natalie Holloway joke.
You know, it's very interesting how people who get into these interracial relationships try to make other people feel comfortable with what they do. That's your personal life. If that's what you want to do, do it. But don't try to make me accept it and put it off on me.
Well, in that article, he was making the point that they asked him about what was the feeling of his family and her family when they started dating. He was like, "Yo, we had older black folk who didn't believe in intermixing. We had to talk them through that." And
You
stuff.
see how
Like,
they always put it on the black community?
well, he didn't really say much about his family because it was him answering the question. So I'm not gonna say he wouldn't bring up her family. But you go, wait, maybe the old people got it right.
No, ain't no maybe. They definitely got it right. Don't say maybe. They definitely got it right.
So I don't understand. You try to make what they saw and what they know is not important no more.
No, because we live in this new world where
Things are better.
things are better, and it's not.
This is the thing. All your shows are about racism, but
Clearly, we haven't moved on.
But things are better. So your older elders should get over it and allow and be okay with you. Excuse me.
Damn, dude.
Your elders should get over it and allow you to dating the person of another race, but racism is still alive and well and needs to be talked about. But it's still a problem then. So I don't get it. Anyway,
I'm gonna let it go.
The reason why we
beating the damn horse.
So
Dead horse.
The same time that the Bill Cosby thing came out, a Hugh Hefner docuseries has started on A&E. As you can see here, documentary alleged Hugh Hefner made non-consensual bedroom tapes, engaged in sexual activities with dog.
That's what dogs do. They lie with other dogs.
A new documentary series focused on a number of allegations against the late Playboy founder Hugh Hefner, including accusations that he recorded sexual acts without the permission of the participants. Now, we talked about Hugh Hefner before when we talked about Bill Cosby a little while ago. And one of the things that confused me is when people kept bringing up Bill Cosby in the Quaaludes. He was giving women drugs. He was drugging women. You go, wait. In the 70s, in the 80s, cocaine, Quaaludes, ecstasy, like this was normal. Drugs were normal. This was before AIDS epidemic.
That was the hippie, love free area.
Do you know what people was doing in the disco era? People like talking about the 60s, the hippie area 60s, the 70s. Do you know what was going on? The
hippies was the 70s.
I remember when Judge Joe Brown, crazy. He was like, I heard guys nowadays bragging about being with this many women. He said, we did that in a week. They was getting down back then. Like, I don't think y'all understand what the sexuality that existed before AIDS. Before AIDS hit, it was just do whatever you want to do. Nobody was using protection. It was just don't get pregnant because you might have to get an abortion. That was the worst thing. Yes. Pregnancy was the biggest fear of sex. Pregnancy. Imagine that. Imagine the biggest fear of having sex with 200 people was that you might get pregnant or get a woman pregnant. No, you had to worry about. I mean, obviously they had was it VD? You had those type of stuff, but people take some people take the meds and get over it. But AIDS is what shut shit down.
It's pretty much over.
But let me just jump because I want to show this right quick to make a point about that. Look at this. Holly Madison says Hugh Hefner once called Quaaludes thigh openers. Now I thought I muted this, but okay.
The music had to play after you said the thigh openers.
Yeah. Holly Madison says Hugh Hefner once called Quaaludes thigh openers and offered her one on the first date. She didn't take it.
Shit, she took it.
Now
allegedly.
So yeah, that just. Now let's get to this allegations against him. You see this right here? Depraved Playboy founder accused of bestiality and grooming. Even Bill Cosby's name showed up in an explosive documentary which paints Hugh Hefner as a predator. Playboy founder Hugh Hefner may have passed in 2017 at the age of 91, but there are still plenty of people with much to say about the man. Evidence in the new documentary in which he is accused of everything from sexual assault to bestiality. The 10-part A&E documentary series titled Secrets of Playboy, which premieres on Monday night, features many figures from Hefner's life, including former Playmate models, as well as ex-girlfriend Sandra Theodore, who described the infamous cigar-smoking, pajama-wearing media mogul as a predator who groomed young women. I found it funny they never talked about there were underage women or girls at the Playboy Mansion that nobody ever talked about.
Why are you wearing pajamas all day?
Theodore herself said that she began dating Hefner when he was 50 and she was 19. She said remember when the discussion came about older men dating younger women? Why didn't Hugh Hefner ever maybe he did get criticized for it by
I don't think he did.
Yes, he did. He got criticized for it by certain feminist groups, particularly with Gloria Steinem and all them, who, by the way, went undercover as a Playmate once. The one who created Miss Magazine, the one who worked with all those black feminist women, he once went undercover as a Playmate to get a story and get the scoop. Well, we know they were working together because they both had CIA ties, but we'll talk about that. Theodore himself began, She said he pilled her with alcohol when she was under the legal age and later introduced her to drugs. Perhaps the most shocking claim in Hefner's supposed preference later in life for the company of animals. I walked in on him with my dog and I said, "What are you doing?" I was shocked, Theodore told the New York Post, claiming she caught Hefner performing a sexual act with the animal. He said he made it seem like it was just a one-time thing and that he was just goofing off. But I never left him alone with my dog again.
Shit.
Oh, man. Another woman claimed that the adult actress Linda Lovelace was coaxed with drugs by Hefner and other men to perform a sexual act with a dog at a party. The incident was recalled by former Playboy employee P.J. Maston, who was for many years in charge of the Playmate models. She was drunk and drugged. They got her so messed up that they made her give the German Shepherd oral sex. You want to talk about depravity? This is despicable. But you were sitting there. Hefner also apparently had a penchant for snuff films, and he was accused of filming sexual acts without consent, drugging a woman and coercing them into sexual encounters. Maston also accused Hefner's good friend Bill Cosby of assaulting her. Cosby has been accused of sexual assault by numerous women whose stories cover the span of most of his career. Former associate of Hefner claimed he used the Playboy Mansion as a way to gather dirt on celebrities, models, and even law enforcement in an attempt to keep his alleged misconduct hidden from public view.
Who does that remind you
Who
of?
does that remind y'all of?
A tiny hat.
It reminds me of Jeffrey Epstein. So you mean to tell me Hugh Hefner would invite celebrities to his home, give them women and whatever else to sleep with, and record it for dirt on them.
And then have them take pictures with pearls on.
So, people, ain't it the same thing Jeffrey Epstein did to get information? So we know, by the way, Hugh Hefner had, I hate to say it, he had a lot of black people, particularly black men, at his Playboy Mansion. Muhammad Ali was known. Huh?
Why you hate to say it?
Okay, Muhammad Ali, he's known for going there having orgies. You had Jim Brown. Dick Gregory got his start from Hugh Hefner in comedy.
Power to the people.
Yes, Dick Gregory got his start from Hugh Hefner. That's who made him. You got
Talking Black.
You got who else? Yeah, basically anybody in that time, they was around Hugh Hefner. They went to the Playboy Mansion.
They were discussing civil rights movements.
What?
They were discussing civil rights movements at the Playboy Mansion.
Well, no, the Playboy magazine used to have interviews in them. Martin Luther King, he has an interview in the Playboy magazine. So it is what it is. So was he getting dirt on them to control them?
Lust. See what lust does to you?
Lust will break you down.
It takes you down a long path. And then at the end,
you succumb to your own demons.
Exactly.
In a public statement response to the documentary earlier this month, Playboy acknowledged there are elements of the company's past they find unworthy of our principles. They added that Hefner family is no longer associated with Playboy. I don't keep up with this. I didn't know that. So Playboy said, yeah, this is true. We don't deal with it no more. And don't worry, the Hefner family got shit to do with this no more. Now, Hugh Hefner's son Cooper has meanwhile defended his father, saying this week on Twitter that Hugh Hefner was not a liar and chalked up salacious stories about him as regret becoming revenge. I agree with, I need to say it.
What?
So, we'll get to it. Hold on. Some may not approve of the life my dad chose, but my father was not a liar. However, unconventional, he was sincere in his approach and lived honestly. He was generous in nature and cared deeply for people. These salacious stories are a case study for regret becoming revenge. He's saying that you regret it. Now you're using it to attack him. So you know how you'll have a situation where a woman will get with a dude and maybe he was drinking, she wake up next morning, she look at him and say, oh God, no, I didn't. That regret. And it might lead to an allegation.
You barking up the wrong fucking tree right now.
I'm saying that exists. So he's saying it is regret becoming revenge. Are you not saying it's the same thing that's happening with people like Chris Brown?
No, I ain't saying nothing right now.
Regret turning to revenge. Same thing with Bill Cosby.
Well, I don't even think he did anything.
Bill
on
Cosby,
that yacht.
you don't think that's regret turning to revenge?
You know what? If you are willing to lay down with a person, it's unfair for you to get up the next morning because you regret what you've done and then accuse a person of sexual assault. That's unfair.
I don't think that happens that often. I think when I say regret there, I meant they just regret it. I'm not saying they always go to the police and say.
No, I don't think. I'm not saying they do that all the time, but there are cases where they do that.
Well, there's cases. Yeah. Let me show y'all this right quick. If I can find it. Because they known for chasing these damn articles. All right, I'm gonna show y'all a clip from the show.
A week later, or a couple days later, all of a sudden.
What?
Well, he had tapes on everybody. The first time I looked up at the two screens he had for the TV in the bedroom, and I realized it was me.
Now, she said he has tapes on everybody. So like I said, Muhammad Ali, Jim Brown, Dick Gregory, Martin Luther King.
I have a dream.
All them more. Is is it possible that the CIA, because the CIA investigated Hefner a couple years ago and said, "Oh, we couldn't find anything on him."
Well, he was working with them.
Huh?
Wasn't he working with them?
They did an investigation on him for the 50s and was it the 60s and 70s or something like that, where they said they were trying to prove that he wasn't taking pornographic images across state lines, trafficking porn basically. So they tried to, well, he didn't do it. We couldn't catch him. They called him clever. They called him clever.
Oh, they didn't say slick?
Which means this was a bullshit investigation. So is it possible that all those tapes that Hugh Hefner has are with the CIA now?
I believe that. I wouldn't doubt it.
Those tapes, he died. The tapes still exist. Who got the tapes?
You know who got the tapes.
Did his family get the tapes? Who he leave it to? Did he leave in his will? They just exist?
CIA got those tapes.
Did he give them back to the people they belong to?
No. CIA got those tapes.
Like, whoa, what are you doing? And when we started bringing other people into the bedroom, some girls had the same reaction, like, whoa. And he would do the, oh, well, I can turn it off. If it's not okay, I'll...
Does she not look like him?
She looked like fucking Hugh Hefner. Is that his daughter?
No, that's not his daughter.
Sister?
No.
Cousin?
She did just like Hugh Hefner.
Is that Hugh Hefner? He did a Caitlyn Jenner on our asses?
You think he interviewing himself about himself?
He did a fucking Caitlyn Jenner on our asses.
Oh no.
I swear to God, before you paused it, I was about to say,
why I paused. I was about to say she looked just like that dude.
She looked like her ugly ass. Looked like
You know, that kind of goes with the account in that book, Thanks for the Memories, I think it was. In the movie Thanks for the Memories, she said that Hugh Hefner never was he would literally set up parties and stuff and just leave the room. So he was clearly going to a back room where the camera was watching and watch the situation. So even in that account, it's funny, even in that book, she said he never got involved.
Which means she was telling the truth.
Yeah, also, keep in mind, Hugh Hefner went to the military. He left the military and went to college to be a psychologist, or at least he got a degree in psychology. He then obviously went on to be in arts and writing. So a man who was in the military, ended up with a degree in psychology, ended up the head of a magazine that completely transcended and changed society's morality. Almost like he was trained to do what he did. I remember, was it Good Morning America? What's that show with, is it Good Morning America?
With who?
CBS News. Is
Good Morning America. With Gail and Donna?
Yeah, when they did Charlie Rose.
Charlie Rose.
When they did a show about Hugh Hefner when he died, he had a clip in there where he said, he said, the way things are now is how they're going to go, and the way things used to be are not coming back. That's not happening. We're changing. We're not going back to the way things used to be. He was talking like, I'm told this is what's going to happen. This is my job to change society, to make the society more sexual.
And it definitely has become more sexual.
And it's not even just more sexual. He changed politics because he would bring politicians, and he made liberal thinking, certain liberal points of views, normal in mainstream America. Like Hugh Hefner is a very important, prominent figure in American history when it comes to the change of the culture, particularly in the 70s and 60s. Exactly. That's what it was about. So I find it funny they're trying to make it seem like he was doing this to hide that he slept with a damn dog or something. No, he was using it for political power. Don't Martin Luther King's papers get released in 2027?
I believe so.
I think they pushed JFK's. JFK's supposed to be released, but Biden's administration pushed it back. So we don't know when we're going to get
I wonder why they pushed it back.
JFK's assassination papers supposed to be released, and he pushed it back.
I wonder why.
But I wonder what we're going to find out in Martin Luther King's released papers. Are they video? Just saying.
Maybe so.
I hope not. I hope not.
Truth. I want to know the truth.
Well, yeah, you know what? I said like this. I hope that the truth comes out.
Shit, I'm not gonna say I hope not.
Well, I want to know the fucking truth. Not a damn sexual deviant. Why would I hope you are?
I'm not saying I'm hoping that he's a sexual deviant. What I'm saying is I'm just gonna say
sleeping with a bunch of women on camera.
No, I'm not gonna say I hope not. I'm just gonna say whatever the truth is, let it be revealed.
Well, I'm saying I hope things are true that we actually believe. Hopefully we are.
Well, we had this
disproven.
discussion last week. There's some things you believe.
Yeah, and
that
I
don't
just said I hope
believe.
this stuff is not true. Just because, look, that's what was reported. I said it. Don't mean I believe it. Don't mean I want it to be true.
I don't want it to be true either, but it is what it is. Shit.
All right, man. Let's get to the next one. Well, we got to talk about this more. Now, Hugh Hefner made the point that he was a pamphlet or a propagandist for Alfred Kinsey. Now, if you know who Alfred Kinsey is, Alfred Kinsey, I talked about how important Hugh Hefner was as far as how he changed American sexual morality. The more important person is Alfred Kinsey. Alfred Kinsey was a pedo who was responsible. You know the Kinsey Institute? That's him. He published 2 studies or books, the male and the female, and he got his studies, his research, from getting information from prisoners, rapists, pedophiles, and he used them as a standard for sexuality in America. He even detailed in his books, look, man, there's some sick stuff in there. He talked about children.
We know.
Yeah.
They should know.
All the way down to months old.
Yeah,
people.
they should know.
The man used to stick stuff up his
Dude,
urethra.
yeah.
Like,
we don't have to go that explicit.
Well, I can use that word because YouTube won't say that it's too graphic. It's a medical term. But listen, the man was sick. All right. He is responsible for the biggest change in American society. He used prisoners, pedophiles, and rapists as the standard for the average man, American male and female. He said that the average man and the average woman are cheat at a 60% chance of cheating. He told them, y'all cheat a lot, y'all just lie. And it was like, what? Now he getting this from prisoners and stuff. Prostitute, literally hiring prostitutes to tell their sexuality and how they feel about certain things, their opinions on marriage, children. He used the opinions of prostitutes, prisoners, rapists, and pedophiles as the opinions of the average American citizen and published it. And people actually put it in books. And it's taught to you now. Your entire sex education. Anyway.
I was going to say something, but I'm not going to say it.
What you mean? Go ahead, say it. Say it, nigga.
Dope.
All right.
I was going to say, well, the majority of the population is white people who happen to be.
Well, maybe they wouldn't even that depraved at that point.
Maybe they've always been depraved.
Maybe they have been reformed up to that point.
They've always been depraved.
A Kinsey retrospective. His 2 studies sparked the sexual revolution, attitudes, the biology report on America's bedroom habits exposed the country's hypocritical past. Now, that's a lie. Did not expose anything. He lied. The 80s, and by the way, a lot of those videos you can find, the 80s and 90s, they used to put the truth on TV. Even the white people. They used to tell the truth. They would say, you lying. You're a pedo on TV. They would expose them.
They were blunt like their UK counterparts.
Yeah, and the 80s and 90s was by far, when it comes to news, reports, and television, investigative journalism, was by far way better than now. Like, this stuff won't even be said now on television.
Well, everybody is, nowadays everybody just... I think they got so much dirt. They got so much more dirt on the news anchors and all this shit now.
No, the news anchors are CIA agents.
Well, yeah, Mr. Anderson Cooper.
Yeah, not just Anderson Cooper, all of them.
I'm just naming one.
Yeah, they got ties to the CIA and the FBI and all these intelligence agencies. That's why they don't say shit. UF studies sexual revolution began with silent generation of 40s and 50s. That's because of Alfred Kinsey, not the rest of them. The sexual revolution did not start in the free-loving 60s. As is commonly thought, a University of Florida research says it began with the silent generation of the 40s and 50s. That's after World War II.
They had been through some shit.
Which is a moniker, which, as its moniker implies, didn't talk much about sex. U.S. Census Bureau statistics on premarital pregnancy and vital statistics on single motherhood between 1940 and 1960 point to the unexpected conclusion that there was much more sexual activity along those decades than Americans were willing to admit, said Alan, whatever his name is, UF history professor whose research is published in the fall issue of the Journal of Social History. People didn't start to have sex because of Elvis Presley was shaking his hips or because Hugh Hefner came out with Playboy, who said it was the first historian to use census data focusing on premarital pregnancies. After 15 years of depression and war, there was also a desire on the part of Americans to live in the moment and enjoy life, and they were accordingly less likely to defer to traditional restraints on their behavior. The sexual revolution was unfolding at least 7 years before famed sex researcher Alfred Kinsey published his 1948 book, Sexuality in a Human Male, now sexuality in females as well. Although Kinsey said American males were participating in certain sexual behaviors such as masturbation, extramarital sex, and homosexuality with greater frequency than had previously been acknowledged, Kinsey explicitly said that premarital sex among women, the yardsticks expert used to define the existence of sexual revolution, was not rising in the 1940s and had remained flat since the 1920s, he said. Now, this is all prostitutes he got his information from. So in his report, he's saying that the man was out here just sexual
slinging it.
And it wasn't just women he was with. He was down low. But the woman she was restrained and forced to be, this is what Kinsey was saying. Until about 1950, that's when the woman started turning up, they're trying to say. And it's like, okay.
The women been turning up.
Look, man, I'm going to say this. People like to talk about, I even brought it up before. A lot of us like to say our grandfathers had side families and all that stuff. A lot of us got aunts and uncles. We got a grandfather and one of them kids ain't his, and it's known. Normally it's the oldest, or the second oldest. Come on, y'all know.
Who are you alluding to?
No, I'm saying in a lot of families, a lot of us have a grandma or great grandma, who has a kid that ain't great granddaddy.
We have grandfathers who have kids too that are outside of marriage.
Started with that.
Okay. I feel like you're trying to allude to something or a situation.
Hold on. Hold on. I started by saying we always talk about our great grandfathers and grandfathers.
Okay, I didn't hear that part. I'm sorry.
How the hell did you just say?
I didn't hear that part. Let it go.
No,
move on.
You try to paint it like I'm attacking great grandmas. I literally said we always talk about great granddad.
You don't talk about Big Mama.
What the hell? How
Leave
you more
Big
defensive? You more protective of the one we never talk about than the one we always talk about.
Leave Big Mama alone.
Anyway, so yeah, a lot of stuff is going on back then that people don't like to bring up, but it is what it is. You see how that happened? You see how it happened? He just got defensive as hell. Me saying it, bringing up a possibility.
I don't know anybody.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know nobody.
Yeah, okay. We're going to move on to the next story because you on that bullshit now.
I ain't know no bullshit.
All right. We're going to go to the next topic now. This story right here. Hey, he did what you're supposed to do when you get in. When you get in a position of power, this is what you should do immediately. Lawsuit. First Wyoming black sheriff fires deputy for racism. Here we go. They always do this shit. Yahoo News is just terrible. I don't know why I use this shit. Cheyenne, Wyoming. Wyoming's first black sheriff last year fired a white deputy who is accused of tormenting a black subordinate for years with racist name calling that led to him to quit, a new federal lawsuit reveals. Albany County Patrol Sergeant Christian Hanley once drove past and yelled a profanity and the N-word at Captain Jamin Johnson while Johnson and his wife and children were walking out of their home, according to one example of racism alleged in a discriminatory lawsuit filed last week. Mr. Hanley later apologized for having not realized that Mr. Johnson's family was present, as if his vile racism was otherwise acceptable. So he was trying to say, oh, this was just locker room talk. This was me talking to another fellow officer. I was just joking with him, but I didn't know his family was there. They right there, nigga. Well, no, not nigga. His family right there. Johnson is suing Hanley, seeking a jury trial, if necessary, and damages for the years of racism that he has says led to his decision to quit in 2017. It's a good lawsuit. The allegations put a new spotlight on the sheriff's office in Lamberty in Albany County, seat known for the murder of the gay University of Wyoming student Matthew Shepard in 1998. A crime that, what the hell you got to do?
Exactly. It don't have nothing to do with what the fucking first part of the story was.
What the hell?
Like,
okay.
There you go again, putting another community in with another community.
How the hell you find a way to make that?
Man, skip this shit.
The racism allegations came after Sheriff Aaron, appointed as Wyoming's first black sheriff in the wake of the outcry over a deputy's 2018 shooting of an unarmed man who has been diagnosed with schizophrenic disorder. Hanley used racial slurs to refer to not only to Johnson, but to black citizens he came in contact with on the job, including 4 University of Wyoming students who were in a vehicle he once pulled over, according to Johnson's lawsuit against Hanley. Filed January 18, the U.S. District Court of Cheyenne, the suit didn't provide a reason for the stop. Hanley declined to comment on when reached by phone to ask about the lawsuit Monday. The alleged racism against Johnson happened more than 3 years before he took office in late 2020, and said Monday he wasn't aware of it until shortly after starting the job. He said he has made changes in the past year to ensure that all policies are followed, to move internal investigations out of the sheriff's office to the county human resource office, and to personally sign off on all hires, promotions, and dismissals. Well, he did what he's supposed to do, but on one hand, you have this officer who's harassing another to a point where he quits the job. What that tells me is he had nobody on his side, obviously.
Clearly.
How the hell do y'all know why he's quitting and nobody
does an investigation or does anything to...
It takes another sheriff to get in. No, I'm sorry. It takes him to file a lawsuit against him and for another sheriff to come in, a black one, for things to start
switching up,
get changed. So clearly all the other officers were like, tough.
Yeah, tough luck.
All right, let's move on to the next topic. Hey, she about to get she about to get real interesting now. All right. In a rare display, oh sorry, this is the wrong one. My bad. I'm going to go here. Tariq Nasheed. All right. So on Twitter, a couple of days ago, Tariq Nasheed, he set shit on fire. There was you can see it was #1 trending room, SecureTheTribe. Somebody asked the question, how do black Americans benefit from immigration? It was I'm shocked by how many people listened to the room. It was crazy. I did not watch it or listen to it live. I didn't find out about it until like a day or two later.
Yeah, but I ain't find out about it until you mentioned something to me about it.
And the crazy part is I found out
Twitter.
I found out because he was still trending. So he was trending #1. The room was trending. The guy who started the room, he changed his ad to SecureTheTribe. These are some of the reactions you can see on the screen to the room. A lot of the people in the room was calling. It was Tariq and a few other people. Obviously, if you know, the ADOS, FBA, Freedmen, Soul People, whatever you want to call black Americans. That's become a movement, and it's led to disagreements within black America and across the diaspora. And it got real toxic. When I say toxic, I mean I shouldn't say toxic. It became
wording.
It became very argumentative. A lot of disagreements turned left real quick. Like I said, I put some of the reactions here. We're gonna read an article or two. We're not gonna read an actual article. We're just gonna go through some articles that were written about the situation. Let me as you can see here, who is Tariq Nasheed, the toxic host of SecureTheTribe on Twitter? Now, this is a Nigerian publication. I want to see what they had to say about it on their own websites. He said, Tariq Nasheed is an American movie producer, filmmaker, author, who was born on July 1st, 1974 in Detroit, Michigan, United States. He is also an actor, fashion designer, media personality best known for Hidden Colors 3, The Rule of Racism, a documentary film released 2014. He is also called Tariq Elite, King Flex, and K Flex. Who is Tariq Nasheed? According to Wikipedia, Tariq Nasheed began his career. We already know who he is. Like, I don't need to read all that. More so, Tariq is a Twitter activist and social commentator who always describes himself as the world's #1 race baiter and sees himself as an opponent to activists against white supremacy and racism towards the black community. However, one of the latest claims of racism topics in immigration, SecureTheTribe, created Twitter backlash so large that he briefly became the top 5 trending topic on the platform. He was number 1. Listeners on the space he hosted, SecureTheTribe, complained bitterly about his arrogance and lack of foresight about a topic of national concern. Many look at this point of view as a track of xenophobia. It gets to the point that the listeners and speakers become so distressed that he proceeds to repeatedly mute them from further speaking or contributing to the discourse. So he said they become distressed. Are he saying they started interrupting? Or he's saying they just had strong opinions and he didn't want to hear it?
They had strong opinions and he didn't want to hear it.
All right, it gets to, he said, really, this topic is not a trivial one. Because it's a topic of national and international concern, a topic, if not well represented, may disrupt several people's thinking and cause problems among folks.
Folks.
That word, folks.
That's a black.
Tariq, according to Tariq, I don't know what the hell that is. Twitter, it's always a toxic fellow and carries a bandwidth of controversy on his shoulders. At the age of 17, he scrapped up a $125 plane ticket. Then he left Birmingham to Los Angeles, California. He talked about who his wife is, his net worth.
That's Peaches?
It's no, it's not Peaches. It's what's her name?
Peanut.
Peanut. I still think about the back
Tariq
and forth between him and Yvette.
They had a
Peanut
heavyweight
not cooking.
championship.
Oh man, got the gout. It was a good one.
He had his ass on the ropes.
He went to the controversy, the books. So he just did his due diligence in describing who Tariq is. He framed the argument, but it is what it is. He did a decent job. Nigerians tackle Black American Tariq, who wants Africans banned from the U.S. Now, I didn't listen to the room live, so I can't say for sure what was said, what was not said. But I went through the reactions, the thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of reactions. I didn't look at all of them, honestly. But I got an idea. The Africans, well, by the way, he said, how does immigration, benefit Black Americans? He never said anything about Africans, but the only people who went into the room were not Africans, were Nigerians. Like 90% of the people that was on his ass were Nigerian.
The scammers.
You can't help yourself, could you? Nigerians tackle, I already read that. So in this room, the Nigerian people, there was some Kenyans, there was some people from Canada, the UK. They were like,
they probably Nigerians too.
Maybe so, but they was like, he was being xenophobic. He wasn't listening. They kept accusing him of saying that he was saying that they were going to come and take Black Americans' jobs. I ain't never heard a nigga say that a Black immigrant was going to take a Black American's job. I heard niggas complain more about Mexicans when it comes to that than most Black immigrants, when they come to America, they're on a scholarship or their family got money. So they come here and they go into the tech field.
Exactly.
They go to the medical field. They don't come here.
I was about to say that they go into the
jobs.
tech field.
They don't come here and become truck drivers or
bus drivers or
they don't come here and
working.
They don't come here and do what's it called, those jobs? Jesus Christ. The ones you go for Jobs Corps? Like electrician.
Vocational.
Yeah, vocational. They don't do electrician. They come here because they were assigned to do a particular thing. America needs them, or should I say the West, these countries need them for a particular thing. They come here and do tech, medical field, law. They don't come here and do vocational stuff. Like, so I don't understand why they was saying that type of stuff. Most people in this country are not in those fields, even though there's some of them fields that make the most money, especially tech, since it's growing. But they kept accusing him of that. He kept saying, stop saying that. That is a narrative you're creating. No one is saying that you're coming here to take our jobs. So please stop saying that. But this is what this person had to say. This is another art. I don't know, The Niche is what it's called.
That name, who was written by? That's that's an
Ibrahim?
Ethiopian or Eritrean last name, I believe.
Three says Aboriginal Black Americans are fighting to reclaim their economic benefits from the American system. He wants Africans to do the same. For more than 7 hours, Nigerians and other Black people tackled a Black American, Tariq Nasheed, who wants fellow Blacks restricted from immigrating to the U.S., something similar to Donald Trump's travel ban. But didn't Nigerians like Trump? We talked about that. They like Trump. Or should I say some Nigerians, I know. On a Wikipedia page, we know. The conversation lasted for at least 7 hours with the majority of the callers from Nigeria who poo-poo his divisive rhetoric. which is that black immigrants were economic leeches on the U.S. economy. Tariq, now, once again, I did not listen to it, so I can't. We can only react to the reaction.
Well, there was a Nigerian, I believe. No, not I believe. This is a true story for the state of Washington. You remember
I know you want to say, yeah.
They took $3 million and went back to Nigeria.
That's not what happened. That was a scammer.
Exactly.
But he didn't just scam America. He scammed a bunch of countries.
But one of the countries that he scammed it was the United States of America. He took $3 million.
Okay, so what is the point of saying that?
That are they beneficial for being here?
No, you were saying that before. I don't know what you're referencing right now. What is the point of that? Saying that?
I'm referencing it saying they are leeches.
You saying they are?
Yeah, they are.
How?
I don't think having them here is any benefit to us at all.
No. You're saying they're leeches.
They're drain. If you're stealing money for our comedy, you're draining our comedy. You're a leech. Stop stealing. Stop scamming.
So wait, you're saying that they all scamming?
Majority are.
That's your opinion. Tariq's argument was hinged on the premise that in the 1960s, at the peak of white oppression, Aboriginal Black Americans, Foundation of Black Americans voted politicians in the U.S. Congress to pass legislation that was favorable to immigration. He said a reason no longer suffice. Hence, the immigration of black people to the U.S. does not benefit black Americans. Tariq said Aboriginal Black Americans fought and are still fighting to reclaim the economic benefits of the American system. He suggested that Africans should do the same to their native lands and not come to the U.S. to steal their jobs.
Don't we talk about that though?
What?
How we don't understand why they leave their countries. Well, we understand why they leave their countries to come to America to seek better education and I guess to leave poverty. But you would think you would stay, or at least after you get the education or whatnot, that you would go back and help build your country up. But you have a lot of them that stay here and don't go back.
Well, a lot of them will tell you. I've heard some people from African continent say that the ones who do leave typically are what we would call the elitists. Not all of them. They would say these people don't speak the average person on this continent. Particularly since we're talking about Nigerians, particularly Nigerians. I've seen videos of Nigerians from UK, America, just talking crazy about Nigeria, the country, and the people from Nigeria that are in the country of Nigeria are saying they're calling them traitors and you elitists, get out of our country. They're basically saying you're not even Nigerian no more. So it's funny how a lot of these Nigerians that leave the country will become super patriotic to Nigeria, but you left and you talk down on the country amongst yourselves. But then when somebody else is speaking on it, you like boasting it up like, oh, you can't, this is this, we're doing this. And it's like kind of, it's fronting. The conversation had at least 27,000 people connected, with the majority of the callers from Nigeria. Nigerians either resident in UK, Australia, Germany, Italy, or other parts of the globe. The volume of the chat of the topic puts Tariq as a number one trend on Nigerian Twitter, with at least 145,000 tweets referencing it. Many of the callers dismantled Tariq's argument. One of them told Tariq that the looting of Africa by Europeans who later founded America was responsible for the collapse of economic and political structure of Africa, hence the reason Africans have been heading to the destination of the loot. One caller reminded Tariq that Nigerians in the U.S. are highly skilled labor like doctors, college professors, tech gurus, etc. He wondered if Tariq, who says he is high school dropout, could fill any of those vacancies. A caller from Ghana told Tariq that it was naive for him to have complained that black immigrants should integrate with black America culture, saying being black does not mean having the same culture. He even said with Ghana, the culture is diversified. That's true. Okay. The point he made, let me go back right quick. He said he dismantled his argument and said that the reason why we come to America is because we're coming back to the loot that was taken from us. They took minerals and stuff and sold it in oil. They made profit. Now we're coming there because they took it from here. So we got to go there to get some of it back. Or at least get resources back, like money, education, stuff, that we can build our country, go back and build our country up. Which is what you were saying just a while ago.
I said what?
You said, why don't they, when they come here get education, they should go back and build their country up. He's making an argument that they do.
They don't have to come here to get minerals and all that bullshit
No,
that
what?
he's talking about.
I said education.
But they have universities and stuff in Nigeria.
But America has a better education system according to them. I mean, a lot of Europeans.
Well, they've had enough people come here throughout the years and decades to where they've been educated, so they should have enough professors and educated people to where they're able
But
to.
Europeans come here too.
Okay.
So the same thing, ain't it? They come here for the education and go back, some of them. They call them exchange students. Chinese too. There's a lot of Chinese people in this country for school. Matter of fact, Chinese people have been fighting to become a minority so that more of them can get into Harvard.
Well, yeah, they do that because universities have to have a certain amount of minorities in their universities, and Asian people were not qualifying as minorities.
I know. If I just said.
So I'm saying, I'm just giving a little backdrop on it, and so that's why they actually been fighting so hard to become minorities, so that they're able to qualify for it. So like black people in particular won't be able to get those spots anymore because Asian people are now minorities.
But yeah, my point is the same way the Africans are doing it, the Asian and the Europeans are doing it too.
But America is not even the number one. What? It's number 45 on the list for
that's
most
that's for the
educated
people, not the schools.
Okay.
Nothing.
He's not talking about European people. We're talking about African people right now.
No, I'm making a point. All them doing it.
Okay, all of them doing it.
You're making a point like why they come here, they can stay there, they got enough education.
The European and Asian people can stay where the fuck they at too.
I'm saying Chinese people have a high level education system. They still come to America for the degrees, for the training,
but
the expertise. So it's not. I don't know why you make it seem like the Africans are doing it.
Well, you've called me xenophobia when it comes to black people. You did call me xenophobia.
No, I did not.
What'd you say?
I said you said something that was xenophobic. I didn't say you were a xenophobe.
You asked me. You said, "Are you xenophobic?"
I did not ask you. I said that was xenophobic.
I didn't care about it being xenophobic.
I didn't say you did. See, here you go again projecting.
I ain't projecting shit.
So, and the caller said, see, this is my point I made earlier. One caller reminded Tariq that the Nigerians in the U.S. are highly skilled labor, like doctors, college professors, and tech gurus. That's a brain drain, though. Basically, America and whatever country you go to, UK, whatever, they only want the most skilled and smartest. So you get convinced to leave your country and come to America or the West, as they call it, and you get implemented into these companies and stuff at some point, and it's like that's kind of where you go. That's it.
Well, boy, why don't you want to stay in your own country?
Well, I saw a Pan-African dude say what you saying. He was like, the person was like, I told you it got nasty. The person said, we're going to keep coming to America. We're going to keep taking your jobs, your tech, and all that stuff. And the dude was like, no, how about we build a tech companies in Africa, on the continent of Africa, instead of going to America and building up those companies for white people.
Oh, the Pan-Africanists finally got into their, say something to them? Because generally they don't say nothing to the Africans. It's mainly directly towards African Americans because we're held at a different standard.
This is another article. Business Insider Africa. Earlier today on Twitter, some Black Americans seemingly warned Africans to stop immigrating to their country. How does immigration benefit Black Americans? That's the question that set the table for what was best described as the most unpleasant public debate between Black Americans and Africans. At the end, the message was clearly passed along to Africans. Black Americans do not want them coming to their country. It was arguably one of the most heated debates on Twitter in recent times, and throughout the long hours it lasted, the message was clear. African Americans want Africans to stop coming to their country and taking away their opportunities. Business Insider Africa monitored the Twitter space throughout much of the time it lasted, and we couldn't help but take note of a rather controversial rhetoric coming from some of the Black American host participants. No thanks to the hateful rhetoric that were exchanged, a lot of people left the space feeling very angry and disappointed. Focus on arguments. The topic that was being debated on whether immigration benefits Black Americans, according to the co-host, it doesn't. One of those who pressed home this point, albeit in a very xenophobic manner, was the American filmmaker, social media commentator, Tariq Nasheed. Tariq and the other co-hosts on Twitter Space argued that African immigrants are making it difficult for African Americans to get the reparations they deserve. According to them, not only are African immigrants benefiting from the resource that could have been used as reparations for African Americans, they are also allegedly taking away jobs and other opportunities. Another issue that raised is that Africans, particularly Nigerians, tend to arrogantly dominate everywhere they go, and after seizing all the opportunities and most of the money, they remit the money back to Africa. The next question was about why African government is allowing African immigrants to enter the country. Some of the speakers even went as far as implying that the American government was allowing African immigrants as part of a large plan to systematically replace foundational Black Americans with Africans. As part of a solution that SecureTheTribe, as they put it, the Black Americans called for immediate deportation of all Africans.
Get their asses out of here.
You believe that?
What does it benefit us having them here?
I didn't ask you that. I'm asking, do you believe they should be deported?
Answer my question. What benefits?
How you gonna answer a question with a question though?
Yeah, I mean, listen. If they want to kick them out, kick them out. It don't really bother me having them here or having them stay.
I don't understand. You didn't give an answer.
I don't care if they're here or they're not here.
But you just said kick them out. So you want?
Yeah, I was like, kick them out if you.
Wait, so now you don't have an opinion on it?
Dude, they can go. I don't give a damn if they're here or not.
Okay, you don't have an opinion on that.
So no, answer my question. What benefits does it have keeping them here?
Well, the benefit they said it gives is it grows the Black population in America.
Well, that's it. No, it's not, because we've been at what? What's the census for how long Black people been? We've been at, what's the census for how many Black people are here in America?
What? We're
still at what, 13%? It went down to 12%, didn't it? Or did it go up?
I think it was at 14 last time I looked.
So it's at 14 now. And we've been here how long?
You think it's right?
No, I don't think
exactly.
it's right.
So what's your only using that for?
What is the point of having them here if they're still not telling the truth about how many Black people are here?
Well, that's the point. It's more than they want to tell.
Okay, but having them here does what?
So
you're saying it's a good thing having them here because it increases the population?
No, you asked me what is the benefit. I said they said that.
No, I'm asking you what is the benefit, not they.
A benefit, I think the only way you can say is a benefit is they come here. Well, hold on.
Yeah, get your thoughts together.
You saying how's it benefit Black Americans?
Yeah.
That's the benefit, I think.
Of what?
To grow the Black population.
So just having Black people here just is a benefit because they grow the population.
You have a bigger voting block.
But they don't share your same interests because they're not the same as you. They're culturally, they think they vote the same.
They all vote Democrat.
So you know that for a fact that Africans vote Democrat. When we know that the Ethiopians were in the Washington, D.C., Virginia area, they would say they were going to vote Republican, right?
But the ones in Minnesota vote Democrat.
Not all of them vote Democrat, dude.
When the woman who support
they vote in their best interest. That's what they do.
Most of them vote Democrat because of the immigration policies.
Some of them vote Republican, dude.
I didn't say none of them don't. Why you keep saying all or none? No, most of them vote for their immigration policy, so they vote Democrat, which is not Black interest. I'm just saying.
That was a shitty answer you gave because it grows the Black population. That does nothing.
If you have a bigger population, you have more political power.
But you don't. If the people that's coming here are not in the same mindset as you. I didn't say that.
I said a benefit is that you have a bigger population. Now, it working out the way you want it to is a different story.
So what's the point of having them here then?
You got to have the discussions, man. As part of the solution to SecureTheTribe, they put it, the Black American called for an immediate deportation of Africans according to them. Doing this would ensure that African Americans can finally get the reparations and have a good opportunities to go around. And this person said, this is why the Black community, we can't move forward. Instead of us finding ways to connect, and we're having the low-level conversations about the immigration are blocking opportunities for Black Americans.
Is she Black American?
I don't know.
She's not. Look at her name.
Okay, what?
So, first of all, you're not even Black. You're Nigerian.
So wait, I'm not even going to this no more. Go ahead.
So, it just confuses me. They identify themselves as the country that they go to.
Go ahead.
That's what I'm hitting around to.
Oh, is it?
You're Nigerian.
All right. At the end of the Twitter space, it was clear that many Black Americans are really not happy with the presence of African immigrants. As in the time of filing this report, hashtag #SecureTheTribe was trending on Twitter thanks to the tweets for those support and against the agenda. Meanwhile, many Africans also reached the debate, expressing shock, anger, and disappointment.
We don't care.
Now, this was the original room. I can't listen to the actual audio for some reason. I don't know what Twitter did. You can't listen to it for some reason. I don't know. Hold on, let me let it load. Now, apparently, I've heard different numbers. I heard people say there was 17K people in at one point, or people that listened. I saw somebody say there was 30K people that listened. I don't know how many exactly. This is the original guy. He was the host. Now look at this. You had Lil Duval. You had a lot of people from Nigeria in here. You had publications. Damn, these people lost some people. When I looked at this earlier, it said these people had 800,000 followers. I don't know what happened, but damn. All right, something happened. They lost a lot of followers. But you can see here how many people was in here. There was I would imagine it was politicians, a lot of celebrities. You see the white people in here. White people had to be part of it. There was also
in your business. They always in your business.
There was also Mexicans or Latinos, whatever you want to call them. They were talking about the immigration situation. He also talked to an Italian dude, I think he was, who was an immigrant. George Santos, that's a guy for Congress. Santos for Congress. Yeah. a lot of people in there. And then I was gonna play a part of his second thing he did, but I'm not gonna play it. I'll just link it. You can listen to it on your own. Here it is. When he was trending, he started a Q&A. Yeah, asked to read anything, FBA. And he's had another 40,000 listen to that. So that's been the biggest deal I've seen in a long time. So yeah. Hold on, let me get to the next thing. All right. Speaking of, I guess I say speaking of immigrants. Now this ain't black people. This is Asian.
Those weren't black people either.
Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. She was fired by Bravo following racist Facebook posts. Jenny has just gotten the boot from Bravo. The Real Housewives star will no longer be a cast member for the show, something folks have demanded after some of their alleged racist posts making rounds on social media and Instagram posts. The network acknowledged it failed to take action once some of Jenny's offensive posts came to light. But here on out, the exec said they will not be filming The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. She said, if you follow officers' orders, you won't get shot. As you know, the now former Real Housewives came under fire once the Facebook post from 2020 began to resurface on social media during the Black Lives Matter protests. Jenny reshared the post tons of photos and memes that some saw as direct attack on Black Americans. The post is just one example. She also reposted and shared posts that mentioned phrases like Black Lives Matter thugs and violent gangs, in other words, mocking the Black Lives Matter movement. So they got their minority status and they cutting up. I saw some of the other stuff she said. She was going in.
I'm not surprised at all. That's what they do.
Well, here's another video of interaction that a sister had. Another one of these situations. Look, man, at some point, you got to stop going to these people's businesses.
You know what? I was done with this when those black men went to that damn beauty supply store. Or was it nail shop? One of the two.
One of those.
And they told them to stop fucking going to those businesses. And they still fucking to continue to go there to get their fucking weaves and their fucking nails done. Stop going. It was a group of women. You remember those two young sisters that tried to start their own?
Yeah, and they wouldn't sell.
They wouldn't sell.
Yeah.
Y'all was supposed to boycott every fucking beauty supply, every Sally store, any business, any platform, because they did those to those sisters, but you didn't do it because you knew you can get your wig somewhere else and get your nails done somewhere else. So,
all right, well, here's the video.
You guys, I've been in this store looking, and this lady just came and checked my pockets. There's obviously nothing in them. She didn't come up to any other person. Only black person in this store, and you decided to check. And you decided to check my pocket. I'm the only black person, and you dug your hands in my pocket.
I'm Asian.
You're Asian. You're not.
You see, she's trying to say, "Oh, I'm a minority too."
So if you're a minority, then you should know what her experience is as a minority. So that don't make no sense if she's saying that.
They actually turned them into minorities now.
Why did you go dig into this black woman's purse and you have all these other her jacket, whatever,
might have been her pocket,
whatever it was, and then you felt so blatant and comfortable to just grab her. Asian people are the most rudest people there is. They are so fucking rude.
You're not black.
I know.
You sat here and looked at me and went over there and dug your hand in my pocket.
I really don't care.
You don't care? Good. I'm glad.
I don't care. Yeah,
good.
Because
good. And you guys seen her touch my pocket.
But that's what your ass get for going into that store. We done told your ass to stop going there, but you don't fucking listen to us.
All right. Next thing. This is how you know this country get even sadder, right? It's getting so bad. They have to recruit.
But what if you end up at a black person door? What do you do?
But they know. I'm pretty sure they know who door they're getting in front of. Let me show y'all this right here. They looking for people to join a white supremacist group.
Can I help you?
Good afternoon. We are white nationalists, and we're going around hoping to talk to people about something white people in the United States. I hope just to have a few minutes to talk about that.
Did you say you're a white nationalist?
We're not interested, thank you.
No worries. Ma'am, do you think we could leave a flyer for you? Hey, you guys have a good day. Thanks for your time.
Damn, that's sad.
They're now recruiting people into white nationalism. Now, is that a sign of desperation or a sign of them becoming more bold?
I think it's a sign of them becoming more bold.
Think so?
Yes. I definitely think it's a sign of them becoming more bold. However, if a black nationalist came to my door, I'm opening up the door. Brother, what you got to talk about?
Well, ain't that double standard?
No, it's not a double standard.
Right.
Because if they wanted to open up their door and talk to them and become white nationalists, I don't really care.
Okay. That's not a double standard then, you're right. Well, to you, there's a lot of people would be like,
And we don't have no power here. We're not systematically racist to white people. So we really don't have no political power here. So we
got clout.
Shit. Clout that they could take away.
GOP Congress members, no, they can't take clout away. GOP Congress members from New York back Mayor Adams' bid to toughen bail law. In a rare display of bipartisanship, 6 New York Republican Congress members said they agree with New York City Mayor Eric Adams that Albany has to toughen up the state's controversial bail law. We just talked about Albany with the other sheriff having a fire. The damn cop for being racist to a subordinate.
You were rooting for Mayor Adams.
When I went to see, what we're not going to do is lie.
Yeah, you were. You were rooting for Mayor Adams. You were.
In what way?
You were happy to see a black man getting into office.
You're lying.
So
what did I say?
How you feel about Mayor Adams now?
No, what did I say?
You were like it's a black man running for a mayor. I think it was a black woman that was running. It was a white woman. Remember the story came out about them fucking up the votes, and then they were like, "Oh, it was just a test."
Yeah.
And that kind of upsetted you a little bit because you really wanted to see this black man succeed.
It upsetted me. Come on, man.
It upsetted you, and you wanted to see this black man get into office, and
y'all know
now this motherfucker is trying to bring back
The
stop and
jokes.
frisk.
I hope y'all hear the joke in his voice, but listen.
I ain't joking. I'm being serious right now.
Adam's basically trying to bring back stopping. No, I'm sorry. He's not trying to bring back.
He is.
Hold on. This is about him wanting to get rid of the bill that was put through that allows people now to not be held on bail for a certain amount of money. So basically, it was to stop poor people from being in jail. Basically, remember the kid who went to jail because of the backpack?
I don't remember that.
You don't remember it? The one who went to jail and was in Rikers Island for like 3 years.
Oh.
He ended up killing himself when he got out.
That was terrible.
That's why the bill was created. This is why they changed the rules for the bail money.
That's terrible.
So they changed the rules and said you can't hold nobody for a certain amount of money for a bail. Like, come on.
Can you?
But he want to bring it back. They're saying people who are. Let me just go ahead and see what you gotta say. I'll read it.
Can you imagine being young, accused of a crime, then going to a place like Rikers Island? Can you imagine that?
3 years.
And
or 2 years, I think. I remember. He gets out. He does a documentary.
It was almost like the Most High was testing his
patience.
I don't know what it was, but it was
Joe.
He was Joe, man. Unfortunately, he committed suicide. I'm not gonna say he went to. I'm not gonna say that because I think it was a lot put on his spirit. But anyway, I just felt like, yeah, that's a very sad story. What happened to him?
Yeah, in a rare display of bipartisanship, we read that. In a letter sent to Governor Kathy Hochul Monday, the 6th GOP House Representative John, Elise, Nicole, Claudia, Andrew, and Chris mentioned the Democratic mayor's objection to eliminating cash bail for dangerous criminal defendants with lengthy rap sheets. Okay, no, this is about they don't want certain people to be able to get cash bail, eliminate cash bail for what they call dangerous criminal defendants with lengthy rap sheets. The sight of the rearrest of criminal defendants sprung pending trial in a letter to Democratic Hochul. Considering the rearrest rates are even worse in New York City, it is unsurprising that newly elected Mayor Eric Adams and Police Commissioner have both previously identified reforms to New York bail laws as a key component to make the city safe. The Congress, members, GOP House, they are not alone. We're growing bipartisan chorus of lawmakers from across New York calling for the state legislature to prioritize public safety over irresponsible policies put forward by the far left. Specifically, many have identified the necessity for providing judges with enhanced discretion to determine whether an individual poses a risk to public safety when making bail or pretrial release determinations. The Congress members also mentioned their federal legislative proposal to stop enabling repeat violence and endangering our communities act. That will provide $10 million a year in anti-recidivism funding for states to have a law on the books that allows a judge to consider the danger in the individual poses to the community when determining bail or pretrial release conditions. Now, here's what we were talking about a while ago. NYP plainclothes anti-gun unit to be staffed by more than 400 cops. Now, this is all Mayor Adams doing.
He's definitely a law and order.
Well, he's a cop.
Mayor.
He was a police officer. Let's just go ahead and listen to what he had to say.
Neighborhood safety teams, which will focus on gun violence. We will launch these additional teams in the next 3 weeks with deep focus on 30 precincts where 80% of violence occurs, even as the public safety units continue their life-saving work. In doing this, we will avoid mistakes of the past. These officers will be identifiable as NYPD. They will have body cameras and they will have enhanced training and oversight.
Okay. So basically they're doing stop and frisk again.
Yeah, that's what he's doing.
The NYPD new gun and the pillar of Mayor Eric Adams war on illegal firearms in Big Apple.
How they have that's what I'm about to say. New York is supposed to be the toughest.
They have the toughest gun laws,
like Chicago.
But yet they are known for their gun crime.
So who's dropping off the guns in these communities? Now I wish he would. I wish we can go to the website and find out where are the 30 places that he mentioned that are having high violent crimes of guns. I want to know what the community
black
is.
places.
Hey, yeah, that's where it is. The black place.
So we know in Chicago they getting their guns from the Midwest. Those white racist groups, those militia groups are selling them guns. Like I said, we saw that dude had a damn bazooka in Chicago. That was crazy. So in New York, I wonder where they get. Are they getting their guns from? Pennsylvania, Connecticut.
Probably Connecticut.
Where they getting their guns from? Because they have very, very, very strict gun laws. So it makes no sense for them to have. Look, man, you're never going to stop people from getting guns, no matter how many laws you put in the books. You're just going to make more criminals. That's it.
Yeah.
You're not making less guns. You're just creating more criminals. Because people going to get a gun if they want a gun. And unfortunately, some people decide they don't want to have to go get it legally. They just go get one. You ain't going to stop that, man. But yeah. Let me, okay, yeah, we got to go to this next topic now. No. Yeah, we got to hear this right quick.
Start.
Okay. All right, here we go. This is Eric Adams. Again, talking about the guns.
These crimes did not start during my administration. They have been here for far too long in many parts of our community. We have to go after those laws that are not realistic on understanding what's happening on the ground. We have to stop the flow of guns. We are removing thousands of guns off our streets, and it appears as though for every gun we remove from the street, 5 are coming in. That is unacceptable. And then we have to deal with the institutional problems. We have failed to educate black and brown children in the city of New York, if not this entire country. And we put in a new plan in our subway system that's going to increase mental health professionals and at the same time have my law enforcement personnel there deployed properly. These crimes...
Now, what did he mean when he said we have failed to educate our black and brown children?
Exactly. He talking about gun laws
or did he mean just in general education?
Well, he's talking about guns, so how does that lead to...
I guess he's saying people who don't have an education end up on the street shooting. I guess that's what he's saying. So we need to get them an education so they don't end up on the street shooting people.
He's definitely a New Yorker because he had to say black and brown.
Yeah.
I don't know why they just can't. I'm going to let it go. Beating a damn dead horse.
Yeah, at this point, ain't nothing you really can, yeah. This right here. A black woman involved in a botched Chicago police raid got a $2.9 million settlement. She said she would have rather seen the cops get fired. That's refreshing to hear.
Exactly. I haven't heard that in a long time.
A black woman received $2.9 million settlement after the botched Chicago police raid in 2019. And Jeanette Young told CBS she'd been happier. She'd been happy if the cops were fired, and she didn't receive a dime.
So they didn't get fired?
No. Police targeting the wrong house handcuffed Young while she was naked. Oh, this is the woman who was naked in her house.
Black women.
Yeah.
We gotta. We can't even tell the story.
I think we talked about that when it happened. I think we talked about the story when it happened. A black woman who received $2.9 million settlement over a botched Chicago police raid says she would have been happier if the cops involved were fired and she didn't receive a dime. There's no amount of money that was right or right is wrong. And Jeanette Young told CBS Morning in an interview that and her name is Jeanette. Oh, we gotta tell the story. Tell the damn story. So look,
we know somebody?
Okay, you know what? The name. I'm sorry. The name Jeanette is somebody we know. They got a good name close to that. So look, man. We grew up in a certain environment, right? I know somebody who was at home. It was about 5 people in the house. The cops came and kicked in the door, and somebody was in the bathroom naked, taking a bath. And the cops was in the, and while she was in the bath, someone yelled to them, "Get down, the cops didn't hear it," but they didn't hear it. So the cops went to the door while she was naked, or they was naked, and they shut the door back, like, "What you doing? Shut this damn door." And they didn't know it was an officer. So the officer bust the door down, like, "Get out of there and get on the floor." Once they realized it was a cop, they were like, oh, I ain't getting on no floor. They let me know they're not getting on no damn floor. They let them put their clothes on. It was a situation that's not funny because, it's police raid, but it's funny after the fact because of how it looked. It was funny, man. that name. I had the name. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I would have been more satisfied if all 12 officers had got fired and didn't receive a dime. She added, saying she told her attorney she originally wanted the officers fired. Body cam footage of February 2019 incident showed a dozen Chicago police officers storming into Young's home while she was changing after work event. You got the wrong house, Young screamed at the officers as they handcuffed her while she was still naked. Cops later draped a blanket over Young, but didn't let her put clothes on for 10 minutes. While police said they had a valid search warrant for the home, the information they used was faulty and the man they were searching for didn't live there, the Sun-Times reported. The city of Chicago agreed to a $2.9 million settlement in December of 2021. Last week, Chicago officer and inspector general released a report detailing the aftermath of the raid and the city's response. A review outlined how individuals across Chicago Police Department, the Civilian Office of Police Accountability, and Mayor Office failed to address the wrongdoings in the raid. I lost a lot of my life that night, Young told CBS Morning. I actually thought that if I had done anything differently that I was doing, I would have died that night.
So they rather give her $2.9 million than fire the police officers.
It says a lot. Now
They view them as worthy.
Now this right here is something that's not being talked about. This is an old thing, but it's something that happened and that nobody done nothing with it. Report of the International Commission of Inquiry of the Systematic Racist Police Violence Against People of African Descent in the United States. They define the police interactions with black people in America was a crime against humanity. This is what their conclusion was. This fits the description as a crime against humanity.
Mm-hmm.
Why have no one put sanctions on America? Anybody? Iran threatened it, didn't they? Was Iran that threatened the sanctions for black people? Remember that? They said we're gonna put sanctions on you for how you treat black people. I think it was Taiwan or something like that. They called it out.
The Philippines.
They didn't say they would put sanctions on it, but they called it out.
It was the Philippines.
Basically saying, don't tell us how to treat our people when you treat black people the way you treat them.
Yeah, and China did the same thing when they came and met in Alaska. They said the same thing.
And Russia did it too. Putin did it.
Yep, Putin.
So, but none of them put sanctions on America.
Nope. They're
They're
not going to.
They called it a crime against humanity. What's going on? But yeah, it is what it is. All right, let's go back. All right. We'll get to that. So we talked about Mayor Adams trying to change the bail law, and you might I had to cut it out, but the part where he talked about they're basically starting they're bringing back stop and frisk. So while they're saying what's going on between black people and police in America is a crime against humanity, Mayor Adams is calling for police to have to interact with people more.
He's a law and order mayor.
Okay. He asking for you to actually be around him more. But yeah. Now I want to talk about Charlemagne's comments he made. Since we know the 2022 midterms is coming, I believe they're using Charlamagne has a TV show that I think he's trying to be in the politics situation. We're going to talk about why you think he made these comments. But yeah, Charlamagne Tha God. I'm sorry, I went to the wrong one. Charlamagne Tha God made some comments about the Democrats. He's just so done with the Democrats.
But he was just praising Kamala Harris and saying
that's the Kamala.
I know at the end
when she cussed his ass out, but she got on TV with the white woman and let her cut her off. But anyway, Charlamagne Tha God, where is Trump? Democrats are weak and promising stuff they can't deliver. Radio talk show host Charlamagne Tha God weighed in on the upcoming midterm elections and wondered what the powers that be will use as the boogeyman.
Wait a
Scare
minute.
voters on the podcast Brilliant Idiots.
Wait a minute. He has the Breakfast Club. Then he has his show on Comedy Central.
Yeah, I think so. Comedy Central.
And he still has a show with Brilliant Idiots.
I think he has another show too.
So he's on 3 or 4 platforms.
Yeah, 4 or 5 platforms. Yeah, get your money while you can get your money. But yeah, he's stretching himself pretty thin. He said, what is going to be the boogeyman? Who is it going to be the boogeyman? Charlamagne asks. Well, they've made the boogeyman Manchin and that woman and Trump. That's still the boogeyman now. The reason why you can't get what you want It's because of the Republicans, these two Democrats, and Trump. So everything we promised, we can't get to you because of them. Charlamagne asks, we're not scared of dictatorship. We're not scared of authoritarian rule. We're not scared of minority rule. We're not. I'm hearing it. I'm listening to people be like, man, where's Trump? Yeah, co-host Andrew Schultz chimed in. I guess he's a Trump supporter. He said, get this motherfucker out of here. Charlamagne said, I'm serious. Democrats feel like they would rather get it wrong. Like, you know what? At least we know where that motherfucker stands. The mother effers are gassing up, lying to us, promised us stuff, and didn't deliver. I can't wait to see, and I'm already watching it. I'm watching Democrats starting to campaign. They're already like, you got to go there and vote like democracy depends on it. Like, I'm like, when are y'all going to start governing like democracy depends on it? No, for real. For real, he says. Stop telling me the death of democracy is upon us, but you're not governing like it is. Like Joe Biden gave that speech this week calling all Republicans. I'm tired of being quiet. You're tired of being quiet, but you're still being quiet about all the Democrats who are blocking your agenda. You're being quiet about Manchins and Simoners and Kellys who don't want you to get rid of the filibuster so you can pass voting rights. Why are you not calling them out? Charlamagne asked. All that shit is performative until everything get it across the board. You know what else I don't like? I don't like people in power acting like they don't have power. That's the other reason people like Trumps of the world. I don't know who the boss is. We don't like weakness. He continued. Democrats look weak. It's like control your hoes. If you're a pimp, control your hoes. That was a speech. That was clearly a speech he was giving.
You know what? Who said that? Somebody been saying that they always talking about democracy. Jimmy Dore said that.
Yeah.
Has he been watching Jimmy Dore? Getting some of Jimmy Dore's points and then going on his show, Brilliant Idiots, and talking about it. Because that's what they've been saying. How every time it's time to vote, democracy.
Jimmy Dore ain't the only one who say that.
I know other people say it too, but they're like the democracy is under attack, so you have to get out and vote.
Yeah,
that's the same thing they're gonna do this time.
Well, yeah, they already started it. They already saying how we need more people, and we got a small majority, or we have a split. Whatchamacallit? You need to vote more. We need more people. Literally, a guy got on television and said, the Democrats don't have a leadership problem. They have a follower problem. Do you hear? This is what the people think of you. You're not doing enough. You voted for them and they telling you ain't doing enough. All your job is to vote for them.
Your job is to vote for them. Their job is to get into office.
Get all the things you want done.
Put policies into place.
But they blamed you. But I believe Charlotte, that was a speech. Clearly that was a speech. That was with talking points that he was
giving.
It's his job now to act as the strong voice for black people against the Democratic Party. There's a growing what's what I'm looking for, platform to talk shit about the Democratic Party for black people.
Yep. Are we ever gonna see Angela Rye come on the Breakfast Club and talk shit about Joe Biden and Kamala Harris? She just disappeared. Where is Angela Rye?
You say this every damn show.
No, I don't. Every time we talk about Charlamagne, my mind automatically go to I ain't going outside today. Angela Rye. Where is Angela Rye?
The woman was gonna mind her damn business. That's what she doing. I'm gonna show y'all. These are the performative stuff they're doing to convince black people to vote.
And I'm gonna say one thing too. Sorry. Why did he talk about? I know we say this. Why did he talk about voter rights? That's what he mentioned.
That's what I'm saying. That was a talk. That's
like a talking point for him to get the voting rights thing pushed and done.
Get voting rights. We need voting rights. It's like,
or these immigrants, illegal immigrants.
So it's like this scene. This is how you know it was a speech he was giving. Now this is Bowman. This is him getting arrested.
This is his 1960s civil rights. This is his John Lewis moment.
I spit blood in Sam. I spit blood. You got your ass beat, and you've been living off that ass whooping. I'm sorry, he dead now.
The man is dead, dude. Have some respect for the dead.
Hold on. I had to bring
However, he did live off that.
He lived off that ass whooping until he died. I spilled blood. Let me show y'all.
Well, you've been spilling lies for the last.
This is him being arrested for his cause, as they say. Look at this. And what's crazy is
It ain't no black
you're
people
supposed
out
to
there.
take this serious. Like you're sitting like none of this is real. This is all theatric. This is all performative to make it seem like you actually care about something. Remember when what they call themselves the squad? Remember when they sat outside of call themselves protesting?
Dude, pause the damn video.
You see what I'm saying?
It ain't no damn body out there.
Oh,
And the people singing, the people not even black that's out there. Whoever the singing is horrible. The hymns is not on point.
so they can't sing.
They can't sing. It ain't no fucking black people out there. It's a black man getting arrested. This is clearly theatrics right now. Look at them. They off beat. Okay. Got a warn.
That's crazy.
They sound terrible.
Oh man. Let me see. So that's the theatrical plan. Let me show y'all some more. Now I'm gonna show y'all. I ain't even gonna show this one. Get it. Let's get straight to this. The big kahuna. Justice. Yeah, this is the big one. This is the big joker. This will boost him up a little bit. Justice Stephen Breyer to retire from Supreme Court, paving way for Biden appointment.
Another storyline off of House of Cards.
We say this every time we talk about it. I'm telling you, go if you haven't watched that show, go watch that show and then remember everything that's happened the last 6 years in politics.
Yep.
Everything has. So basically, in the House of Cards, he had to convince one of the justices to step down who had early signs of dementia. He needed him to step down so they could appoint another person, a woman who was running for president, call for her to be the justice so that he wouldn't have to go against her in the primary.
Yeah.
It fits so perfectly. This is crazy. At 83, Breyer is the oldest member. Liberal activists have urged him for months to retire, while Democrats hold both the White House and the Senate, a position that could change after the midterm elections in November. Could.
It is.
Y'all told him to step down before the midterms because y'all know.
Because they're going to wipe their ass.
And you're not getting nobody through until 2024 when whoever has the majority going to be able to pick who the justice is. So that's why it ain't no maybe about it. Y'all needed him to get out of there immediately. Now, in that, we know that Biden, almost like he knew, pledged that if he got in, he would pick a black woman as a justice on the Supreme Court. So let's listen to him say that.
Our process is going to be rigorous. I will select a nominee worthy of Justice Breyer's legacy of excellence and decency. While I've been studying candidates' backgrounds and writings, I've made no decision except one. The person I will nominate will be someone with extraordinary qualifications, character, experience, and integrity. And that person will be the first black woman ever nominated to the United States Supreme Court. It's long overdue in my view.
So that's him saying it. He says he's going to pick him.
And black women going to hold his ass to the fire, too.
Now, look, please understand, this is still part of the slow walk. I'm going to say it every week. This is still a part of the slow walk.
When the sun don't even shine, walk with you.
You see here, asked if President Biden will honor his pledge to nominate a black woman to the Supreme Court following reports of Justice Breyer retirement. Obviously, we know he is retiring now. White House press secretary says he certainly stands by that. But one I really want to bring out is this one right here. When she made the point to bring up Kamala, they asked her what role would she play in it, and she had a interesting quote.
Go ahead.
Who here at the White House is helping the president to sort of lead this search effort? Is this Ron Klain who's helping him go through this process, and would he then be the person to kind of shepherd the nominee through the Hill process as well, through meetings and such?
Sure. Well, first, the vice president will play a central role in this process, and the president intends to consult with her very closely. Obviously, she has a long history as a former attorney general, as a member of the Judiciary Committee, and he respects her opinion greatly. In addition to the Vice President, Ron Klain will, of course, play a role. Dana Remus, Cedric Richmond, Paige Herwig, who's a member of our counsel's office, and Louisa Terrell. As has been standard in the past, we would anticipate bringing in additional expertise from the outside to advise during the confirmation process. Would expect we would have that team in place prior to a selection, but that is not finalized at this point.
And now that we, have heard the president speak publicly about this, I wonder if you can take us sort of back maybe a little bit in time. When did the president first learn of Justice Breyer's intent to retire, and how was he informed? If you could just explain a little bit of the backstory.
Sure. Well, first, as you heard the president say, and you've heard us say, this was Justice Breyer's decision to make on his own timeline, and through his own conditions he determined. So we aren't going to lay out more specifics from here in terms of when the president was aware. The president, I can tell you that Justice Breyer hand-delivered the letter to the president this morning that you saw released by the Supreme Court, and that was the formal notification from Justice Breyer.
And I asked you about this yesterday, just wondering if you had a chance to look into it, just confirming, is it the White House's view that the vice president does have the authority to break a tie in a Senate confirmation?
I know you asked me that. I know there is historic precedent on that front, but I will double check and see. And I'm sorry, I apologize for not getting back to you on that. Go ahead, Ed.
So yeah, she didn't answer that woman's second question, but
she's not going to.
Now, he said he's going to choose a black woman. And please know, I know I misspelled the word nominees right there. I forgot an E. It's French. I spelled it the French way, whatever. I'm joking.
No, nigga, you misspelled the word.
I was Russian, whatever. But these are the female candidates that he has to choose from. It's very interesting when you look at the background of some of these women. One is from North Carolina, Michigan, California. The woman here, I'm gonna go through the list right quick before I even go into that. I'm just gonna go straight to it. All right, come on, thing, load. All right, so you hear how Biden will choose the next Supreme Court nominee. So now keep in mind, these are the people that the media is already saying is on the list. These aren't necessarily the people he said he's gonna choose. Now this woman here on the left, her name is Leandra Kruger. Her father is Jewish. Her mother is Jamaican.
Not surprised.
This woman here, her name is Katinja. I can't say her. I can't pronounce that name how it's written. I'm sure if I heard her say it, I would know how to say it. Her name is Katanja Brown Jackson. That's her right there. That's another person they think gonna run. Get it? Let me go to this one right here. I want to show the pictures of them. That's why I'm doing it this way. You got J. Michelle Childs. That's another one. She actually got brought up by Obama.
Oh, really?
She got Obama appointed her, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Barack Obama nominated Childs to serve in the U.S. District Court for the District of South Carolina in late 2009. So the fact that she's an Obama appointee,
who happens to be
a black woman.
Yep.
I wouldn't be surprised if she could. Here's another one here. I feel this is her. She's another one they're thinking about giving it to. Here, there's another one. Another black woman they're saying could get it.
Her name, what's her name?
I still can't find her name. Every time I have her name, it's not in this article here. I gotta go to the next article. Hold on. Sorry, hold on. Her name would be in the article when I put it in the description. But yeah, but this one here, for some reason, I don't know why, this is Jamaican Observer. She actually got the most attention at first. She's the one I kept seeing pop up the most. I think most of them I think she's 45 years old. The others are 50 and up. So she's the youngest of them. So it would make sense.
In a while.
Yeah, it'll make sense to pick her because she'll be in it the longest, more than likely. So the Jamaican Observer is saying, you know, it's a daughter of Jamaican immigrant.
They always emphasize on there.
Daughter of Jamaican immigrant likely to be Biden's pick for U.S. Supreme Court. No, the reason why they emphasize
it's Jamaica
it's Jamaican
Observer.
Observer. That's why they emphasizing it.
Okay.
Out of those women, you have one from South Carolina. You have her. She's out of California. You have one out of Michigan. Then there's the one. Hold on. The woman Anita Earls. There's another one. That's the lighter skinned one. Or she's from North Carolina. In the area she's from, we grew up there. We would think she would be one of those Indians there.
What area is she from?
She just made me forget. I just forgot. But the area she's from, that's normally where we see those natives that live there. She looked just like them. I don't know if she's Asian and black, native and black, or mixed on both sides. I don't know what she is. But
when you look at her, you go,
yeah. But she's African American according to her.
According to her.
She identified. What's her name?
Rachel Dolezal identifies as fucking black, so we can't really say shit.
Here's one of the other women in it.
And she's proud of
the
it.
The Brown Jackson woman. She's married
tribute.
So she's the camel. I hate to say this. All of them, for the most part, are married to Caucasian women, men, except for the one who's the lightest. She's married to a black man.
It always happens that way.
That's what I found funny in the whole situation. Two of them that I looked at were married to a white man, but the one, the lighter skinned one, she's the one married to the black man. I'm sure the other ones might be married to black men too. I just found that funny. But this all boils down. The real thing behind it is the play. The play. How they gonna do this? Kamala's numbers are terrible. Biden's numbers are terrible. We talked about Hillary Clinton gonna try to get in at some point. Well, a theory that's been running around is Kamala Harris. You see here, Kamala Harris, the Supreme Court, would open the VP door to Hillary Clinton. Did we not? Look, literally last week, we said, why didn't he pick her to be on Supreme Court rather than VP? We literally just said this, and then literally a few days later, he's stepping down, and now the theory is out. This is crazy.
But for some reason, I don't think Kamala's going to be the Supreme Court.
Not going to do that. This would be
too obvious.
This would be too obvious if they move her to Supreme Court and he picked Hillary Clinton as his vice president. But we're going to talk about it anyway. Here are 3 things I've suggested that Joe Biden could do to save his train wreck of a presidency. First, get U.S. Supreme Court Justice Stephen Breyer to retire. All right, that is done. Now nominate Vice President Kamala Harris to take his place, and then name Hillary Clinton 74 to take Kamala's place. Come on, dang. Presidency saved, at least for now. If old Joe is too far gone to seek re-election in 2024, assuming he still has the job, you see how he said that? If he's still in office, then Vice President Hillary Clinton, Harris, a parent, would be the Democrat nominee for president. In the meantime, Harris would become the first black woman to serve in the Supreme Court, fulfilling at least one of Biden's campaign promises. Is it true that Biden said recently he would run again? It is true that Biden said he would recently run again and that Harris would be his running mate. But that was before Breyer announcement that he would retire, thus giving Biden a plum appointment to the high court. And nobody believed it anyway. Given Harris less than a stellar performance as vice president, many Democrats would be relieved to get Harris on the court and away from the presidency. So this is what they're saying can happen. This is the play. 2020, Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton make the play to get Biden as the nomination, thanks to Jim Clyburn and Obama. Get him to pick Kamala Harris as the vice president. Know that they're going to be bad at their job. Get Breyer to step down. Get him to move Kamala to the VP, to the Justice Supreme Court spot. Have her picked as the vice president. Biden is in the middle of a war push with Russia, who now is saying what they're talking about.
Get his ass out of here.
Get him out of here. Hillary Clinton becomes president. She picks whoever as her VP. 2024 comes around. Nobody's running against her. She's the incumbent. You're not going to run against her. She runs again against Trump, DeSantis, Tim Scott, whoever. But who does she pick as her running mate?
Michelle Obama.
Boom. Now, there's a theory also that she could pick Barack Obama as her vice president.
Oh, Lord.
See, Barack Obama won and ran twice as president for a presidency, but there's nothing that says he can't run for vice president after running for president. But the problem they had to come up with, well, if he runs as vice president and something happens to the president, he has to become president. Is he allowed to take that seat since he's already he already done his 2 terms? So that's why that would be a sticky situation. But yeah, that is what is suspected to happen. Hillary Clinton, Kamala Harris, 2024. I still think Keisha Bottom, I'm telling you, I just believe it. Keisha Bottom's gonna run, or she's gonna get something else. Maybe it won't be vice president, but she's gonna get some powerful job. I just see it, and I still think Tim Scott's gonna run on the Republican side.
I see that too as well.
So you don't think he'll put her in Supreme Court? You don't think it'd be that obvious? It won't be him, by the way, if this is done. It's not him, but they won't pick her as VP.
Well, it's one person.
Just
3 people. The Clintons.
No, it's they. We're just gonna say they because the intelligence.
I like the name drop shit.
So you don't think they would do this?
I think it's too obvious.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, if they go through with it, Kamala Harris puts his on the Supreme Court, and then they're like, Joe, who you gonna pick? And he's like, I think I'm gonna get Hillary Clinton. Then everybody, okay, imagine the white.
Oh Lord, them Trump supporters.
The white males in particular, they're gonna be like, he picked that fucking
2024, there'll be pitchforks at the damn voting booths. Like, boy, they will come out in droves to get her out of
office. And Putin gonna come out and say,
oh yeah.
Oh my God, he definitely gonna say.
That's another thing.
Put cover by their border.
That's another thing. We know right now with the Russia-Ukraine thing, it's understood when Hillary was running, this woman said, they said that there's a no-fly zone over Russia. She said, I would still do it. They was like, wait, what? You want to go to war with Russia?
Has Biden or people, they been ramping this up because they know that she's getting ready
to run,
to come into office, and she's just setting the tone?
You thinking a little further?
I don't think Joe Biden has enough kahunas to tell Putin, do what you got to do.
You think he set it up for Hillary?
I think Hillary is the one that's saying this. And
she said it before.
Putin knows that she's behind it.
I think he do know, or maybe he thinks it's Obama. I don't know. That's a good one. Is he setting the stage for her?
Wow.
Well, that's a good one to think about. But okay, now let's talk in reality for a bit. Who do you think he actually chooses?
What?
As the what's it called? You think he chooses that Michelle woman?
I don't think it's gonna be none of those people up there.
You don't think none of them gonna get it?
None of them.
Why not?
Because they always throw little picks over there, and then somebody just randomly come along with somebody that you didn't even see coming. They do that shit all the time.
Well, they did it with Kamala.
Exactly, because
people were thinking it was gonna be the other woman
for Biden.
Yeah, people thought it was gonna be
Klobuchar.
No,
or Pocahontas.
No, the black woman.
Oh, the one, it was supposed to be one from Michigan, right?
It was 2 or 3 black women that was above Kamala.
Even Stacey Adams was.
Even she was behind.
We'll never forget.
And Keisha Bottom.
We'll never forget how she looked when she went on national TV, and he just brought her on there too.
Say good job. Pat on the head.
Thank you for being a good lap.
That's it. And she just sat there and just took it.
And she
didn't go see him when he came to Georgia and did the speech.
She had that Angelica with the teeth, and then they went, I'm gonna fuck this nigga up when we get off air.
But yeah, I think he would choose that woman who's connected to Obama more than likely. I think that's
because Obama is really
I think more than likely that's who will probably be chosen, more than likely. But yeah, let's go to the next thing. It's gonna be the last topic. I say that and then we end up doing 2 more. Pfizer pushes to intervene in lawsuit seeking COVID vaccine information from FDA. What you about to say?
We forgot to mention our theory.
What?
About Tasha K and Cardi B.
What you mean?
About the fact that we
damn, how the hell you think about that?
Because I'm like, damn, you remember, because we talked about this earlier. About the fact that, okay, this is off subject. Damn.
Let's go.
Okay. Remember, you said that she put up 38 videos of Cardi.
That's what they said in
That's what they said.
Lawsuit. Yeah.
Tasha K is allegedly connected with Nicki Minaj. We happened to just browse and see that she had her in her plates or whatnot. And we were saying how maybe Tasha K doesn't care about losing this case because Nicki Minaj is backing her behind the scenes when she was, putting all these alleged stories out about Cardi B, pretty much defaming her reputation.
Basically, you coming to the conclusion that you think Tasha K was the hitman for Nicki Minaj.
Yes.
Or hit woman for Nicki Minaj. Yeah,
because remember, Lovely T,
yeah,
that's Tasha K's rival, I guess, or they had some sort of back and forth.
I think they had a fall. They're friends.
Remember, she would not talk about Cardi B, and supposedly, Tasha K was saying how Cardi B was doing the same thing with Lovely T. So Tasha K had Nicki Minaj backing her, and Lovely T was connected to Cardi B. So what I'm simply saying to wrap this up, Nicki Minaj may have been having Tasha K, this is all alleged, put out these hit stories about Cardi B.
Damn, I wish we would have said that earlier too.
Because people may not even make it to this part of the
If you make it to this part, tell me that's a good theory. I forgot all about that. Yeah.
It be so much. It's so much stuff going on that you kind of.
Yeah, but yeah, basically, Nicki Minaj might have been the one who was putting the battery in Tasha K.
And that's why
back.
Tasha K was like coming out of the courtroom every day.
I mean, is she probably? I mean, is she gonna have to pay that money, or
she's like, am I gonna have to pay the money, or is somebody gonna,
foot the bill for
foot
me?
up the bill? And celebrities are known
for
this. This is all alleged.
See, this is why I wish we would have brought her. So now I want to go into that because she might have been on her payroll. Anyway, we'll move on.
This is all alleged.
If something
Pfizer.
Yeah, if something happens with that story, we can always bring that back.
Pfizer
pushes to intervene in lawsuit. It's another lawsuit seeking COVID vaccine information from FDA. Pfizer Inc. wants to intervene in a Texas federal lawsuit seeking information from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration used in licensing the company's COVID-19 vaccine. Basically, some Texas scientists and doctors sued for the information that FDA has to why they approved the vaccine. This should be easy information to give. It shouldn't be a big deal. Why did you approve it? Give me the paper. That's all they're asking for. But now Pfizer is getting involved with their team of lawyers. And it's like, whoa, what the hell going on? Why is the FDA and the Pfizer working together in court to not release information?
Because there's something they don't want you to know. Something they don't want you to know.
Let me show y'all this. Pfizer Inc. wants to intervene. We read all that. A litigation move that plaintiffs who are suing for the data says is premature. So they're saying, damn, we're not even really trying to sue. Like, we just want the information. You kind of jumping the gun, ain't you? Pfizer lawyer and DLA.
They lowered up.
They lowered up deep. Watch this. U.S. District Judge Mark Pittman on January 21, it wanted a role in proceedings to help FDA avoid inappropriate disclosing trade secrets and confidential commercial information. On Tuesday night, the group of doctors and scientists who sued last year over public access to FDA's Pfizer licensing records said in a court filing that the company's bid to jump into the lawsuit was untimely because the plaintiffs have not challenged any redactions or request record. So basically, they're like, we haven't even got the papers yet. We haven't fought for what we want to know, the redactions we want taken out.
And they already lowered up.
You already lawyered up.
So which tells me you got a lot here that you don't want out there.
All we asking for you to give us information before we fight. You got to give it. It's like this. I want to know something that is not public. They go through the papers, they redact certain information that they don't want known, and they give it to you. And then you look at it and say, you redacted too much. Go to court. I want more. They're like, we haven't even got the papers yet. And you already jumping on us. Earlier this month, the judge ordered a fast-track release of hundreds of thousands of documents. Remember, they wanted 75 damn years to release this stuff. And the judge said, get out of here. You get the stuff in 6 months, give it up. Calling the case a paramount public importance. U.S. government agencies control the release of information under federal public records laws, but companies can challenge and even sue to block the disclosure of certain details. The FDA said on Tuesday in its court filing that it welcomed the opportunity to coordinate with Pfizer amid the agency's call for unusual and indeed extraordinary circumstances. What's unusual? What's extraordinary?
Having to give up all this information.
Pittman scheduled a hearing on Friday to consider Pfizer's bid to intervene. The judge is also expected to take up FDA's logistical concerns about its January 6th order that directed the agency release 55,000 pages monthly starting on March 1st. The FDA declined to comment on Wednesday, and Pfizer said in a statement that its intervention will help accelerate the release of the documents. The FDA earlier drew criticisms over its plan to release 500 pages a month in response to a lawsuit from public health and medical professionals for transparency, a production schedule that will take more than 50 years to complete. Siri and Klemstad, a New York boutique firm that filed the lawsuit, has fought mandatory vaccination efforts. In its filing, Pfizer said the company supports public disclosure of FDA records to promote transparency and the public confidence in the vaccine. The company's filing said it was not aware of the lawsuit before reading news media reports about it. The plaintiff said in the filings that Pfizer could help the FDA without intervening in the lawsuit. The attorneys also said they would not oppose Pfizer's intervention in the company's involvement and limited to prevent it, delay, or prejudice. The case is public health, whatever. So basically, they jumped the gun. They jumped the gun and are fighting before they even release anything.
No, they just ready to go. They like y'all ain't catching us slipping. We gonna be ready for this shit.
They went and got 1,000 lawyers. They got thousands of lawyers on their side already. Yeah, they went and hired the firm that they went and hired got like 1,000 lawyers.
Well, they did that so that
they could keep it in court for years and years and years.
Hold it up.
Why the double vaccinated in some places are testing positive for COVID more than the unvaccinated? The first thing for me that comes to mind is I don't see any biological explanation for this, or you don't. As one infectious disease specialist said, the trend is curious. It's at least 3 provinces lately. Canadians who are double vaccinated have been more likely to test positive for COVID than the unvaccinated, a fact that has been seized by the anti-vaccination activists as supposed evidence that the shots don't work.
Can you say that?
No, they're saying that the activists are using this as proof that it don't work. I'm gonna leave that alone. I read it. It's right there. You heard it. So the vaccinated get it more than the unvaccinated, but it's supposed.
Okay.
All right. On Monday, for instance, 89 of the 100,000 people who had received 2 doses of vaccine tested positive for the coronavirus, compared to 68 and 100,000 of those who have so far avoided vaccination. But experts say the trend probably stems from statistical biases. The nature of the people who have been getting tested and who most frequent were exposed to the virus, and definitely not some strange quirk of immunization. In essence, they suggest that people who are vaccinated are more likely to seek a PCR test for employment and other reasons, and more to be exposed to the COVID, skewing statistics as the Omicron variant spreads rapidly. So what you're saying is a person that's vaccinated is more likely to believe they can't get the virus. So they move around more, they get tested more because they want to try and get these, go to work and go out and all that stuff. So you're saying, this is according to what they're saying, a person who is unvaccinated are simply just not testing as much?
That's, yeah, pretty much what they're trying to say.
But aren't there more vaccinated than unvaccinated?
That's what they say.
That's what they say. I think 60% of America's.
I mean, I thought we were at 70. I mean,
it's been at 65, 64.
4th of July, it
was at 60.
The goal was to get 70, and then we opened by 4th of July, and Biden said we reached the goal. So but now they're saying 60.
Yeah.
We'll never know the real numbers.
Exactly. It's curious that Miss Dr. Mark, an infectious disease doctor and professor at McMaster University, the first thing for me that comes to mind is I don't see any biological explanation for this. I don't think it makes sense.
However, they do keep changing the definition of vaccinated.
There you go.
So you could have taken the 2 shots,
And
But
didn't
because
get
you haven't
boosted.
taken your booster, and now there's a fourth booster,
There's no
you're
such-
not
wait,
considered.
and remember, there's no such thing as fully vaccinated. It's
Yeah.
up to date now. Are you?
So that's what I'm saying. Maybe the percentage is scaled back because you had 10% who didn't go get those
boosters.
boosters.
It's still kind of crazy that nobody's pointing this out more. As new variants emerge, and shout out to George, as new
From
variants
Johns
emerge,
Hopkins University now, more than 106 points.
U.S. government turns attention to a universal coronavirus vaccine. The Army is working on a so-called pan-coronavirus vaccine. I heard about this in like August of last year. They said that the military was working on a vaccine that's universal.
Yeah.
Could work on any variant, and it's the best thing ever. At the dawn of the COVID-19 pandemic, vaccine makers raced to design a shot that perfectly matched the new virus genetic code. Their efforts were successful, resulting in highly effective vaccines in record time. But the virus has continued to evolve into new concerning variants, each with a slightly different genetic code. Although current vaccines still work well against new variants, they are no longer a perfect match. So wait. So it was perfect, but new variants are different. Oh, but it still work. It's different, but it still work against it. It's just not a perfect match anymore. So now we need a new one. Okay. Vaccine makers like Pfizer and Moderna are now exploring tweaking booster shots to match the now dominant Omicron variant. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, you're not down in the paragraph yet.
But the U.S. government is aggressively pursuing a different approach in pan-coronavirus vaccine that will work equally well against the COVID-19 variant. Since September of 2020, there have been 5 SARS-CoV-2 variants of concern: Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta, and now the current Omicron.
When was Alpha?
That's the original.
Okay, Beta?
I don't remember. Gamma? I don't remember Gamma.
Only one I remember is Delta.
That's
it
the
was
only
just
one.
it was literally called
Delta.
The coronavirus.
Up until Delta.
And then it was called Delta. And
And
then
that's
it
called
moved on
Omicron.
to Omicron. So when was fucking Alpha? When was Beta? They all named this after the Greek alphabet.
Yeah.
So now they telling us, without telling us before, that this is the names, but we would just let black people run around and call it the Rona.
The Rona, yeah. Or the vid. Dr. Anthony Fauci said the White House Task Force briefing Wednesday, so obviously innovative approaches are needed.
Like, they did not name these variants Alpha, Beta, and Gamma. It was literally Delta.
COVID. It was just Rona.
Or the coronavirus.
Or what do they call it?
COVID-19.
Yeah. Or
the variant.
China virus. They were calling it that too.
Kung Fu, whatever you want to call it.
Fauci, who's heads up the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Disease, has issued $43 million in research grants across several academic institutions to support develop a pan-coronavirus vaccine, sometimes called a universal corona vaccine. So almost like a universal government. Now, we were talking
Universal
earlier.
World One Order.
We were talking about them not wanting to release those papers. And we get into, well, why is that? Well, there's a reason why they don't want to release those papers. If you look at this right here, I found this really interesting, right? This is what I'm about to show you is a lawsuit that happened. Did you know? Look at this right here. Did you know that the former FDA commissioner charged in a RICO lawsuit? A federal lawsuit charged Dr. Margaret Hamburg, former commissioner of FDA, with conspiracy, racketeering, and colluding to cancel deadly drug dangers under federal RICO law. The FDA commissioner in 2016 caught a RICO charge. What the hell is going on?
I don't even know what to say.
It's like, look at this. Former FDA commissioner charged in RICO lawsuit. A federal lawsuit charged Dr. Margaret Hamburg, former commissioner of Food and Drug Administration, with company racketeering and colluding with concealed deadly drug dangers. So they were hiding the effects of a drug and gave it the okay, knowing that it could harm people. Under the federal racketeer influenced the corrupt organizations law, RICO law, An amended RICO lawsuit was filed April 11, 2016 in the U.S. District of Court in Washington, D.C. on behalf of the 8 plaintiffs who claimed they have suffered severe harm in ingesting the drug Levaquin, whose deadly risks were concealed to protect financial interests. What the? And look who's on the board of Pfizer. Look at this. Scott. On the left is the former FDA commissioner in charge of regulating Pfizer. On the right is the current member of the board of directors of Pfizer. On the left is former FDA commissioner in charge of regulating Moderna. On the right is the current chief medical officer at Flagship Pioneering, the venture capital firm behind Moderna. On the left is the CEO of Reuters, in charge of informing people about the COVID-19 vaccines. On the right is the current member of the board of directors of Pfizer. Anthony Fauci. On the left is an NIAID director under the National Institute of Health. On the right is the founder of bioweapon research on gain-of-function bat coronaviruses at the Wuhan Institute of Virology. Hold on, I got some more work for you. Now look at this.
Yeah, you two gonna have to work for your ass too. Proving this fucking case.
Now look at this. Now this is a case from 2016. I'll make sure I point it out. Look at this. Just look at this. In 2009, President Barack Obama nominated Dr. Margaret Hamburg for commissioner of the FDA as a political appointee. The suit alleges that Dr. Hamburg and her husband have made large donations to Hillary Clinton's campaigns.
Oh, you mean the days?
And to the Clinton Foundation, and that they gave political contributions and gratitude to President Obama to introduce him to nominate her to be appointed as the FDA commissioner.
The days.
They literally paid her, paid the Clintons to get Obama to make her the FDA president, or FDA commissioner, I'm sorry.
All 3 of the days.
That's the whole family. So that's why Michelle not involved. This is why she can run. Her name's still clean.
Well, she's out doing activist work for the
The suit filed by Larry Klayman, a former federal prosecutor, charged Dr. Hamburg, her husband, Peter Brown, an executive in the hedge fund Renaissance Technologies, with collusion, conspiracy, and racketeering alongside the pharmaceutical giant Johnson & Johnson to conceal those deadly risks to protect their financial state. This is for that drug, Levaquin, however you say it. And look at this right here.
Mm-hmm.
Now this was they wound up having to admit it. This is back in 2016. FDA finally forced to admit the drug Levaquin is highly dangerous. Now we know
after people have taken it.
After. Now we know Johnson & Johnson, they done been sued for billions. Didn't they just get sued and then they made a fake company and put all the losses on that company and filed bankruptcy? It's genius, but America is so rotten that you can even do that. You can sue somebody and they can create a company, put all the liability on that company, and then file bankruptcy and get out of it.
That's why America's falling.
It's so crazy.
For the wicked shit that it does.
All right, we're gonna run to this last story. This is look at this. Democrats are rushing through a massive Ukraine defense bill. Now we saw that they're trying to go to war with Ukraine now, even though Ukraine's saying we don't want no beef with Russia. I said they're going to war with Russia. Ukraine said we want no beef with Russia. Stop telling people to leave the country. We need the tourists. There's no wars going on. Y'all tripping. So America been spreading the hate, the warmongering, while the Ukraine itself and Germany are like, oh, now look at this.
Because that's what they are, warmongers.
Now if you don't know, America was part of, like I said, they 100% did it. They were a part of a coup that happened in the Ukraine where the government was overthrown and the people that were placed in power couldn't even speak the local language. And the president of the country is Jewish, I'm just saying. But look at this. German TV shows Nazi symbol on helmets of Ukraine soldiers. Now this was back in, it was just written, 2014. So in 2014, there was a, what do they call it? I forgot the word. What's the squad? A squad in the military of the Ukraine soldiers. A squad. What do they call it? Individual squad? Is it barricade? I forgot how you say the word. Anyway, in the ZDF report, the fragile ceasefire in eastern Ukraine, images were shown of soldiers wearing combat helmets with SS insignia and swastikas. They look at this. Look what they did, man. The CIA may have the CIA may be breeding Nazi terror in the Ukraine. It's always America.
That's why she has to fall. And it just so happens that we're in the fucking belly of the beast.
Belly of the damn beast. The CIA has been secretly training anti-Russian groups in Ukraine since 2015. Everything we know points to the likelihood that includes neo-Nazis inspiring far-right terrorists across the world. So NATO and America have been on the border of Russia since at least the last 15 years. Russia has been telling them, please get off our border. There was a deal between Russia and the NATO after the Soviet Union fell that they would not bring in any of the former Soviet colonies into NATO. The deal was don't expand east. Stay where you at. We're not going to try to do nothing, but y'all can't do nothing either. Immediately in the 90s, they broke that rule, brought in all these countries to be a part of NATO. Now, the Ukraine does not qualify to be a part of NATO. They don't qualify. So why are they there? Why are they in the Ukraine? They have been on their border for 15 years almost. The Russia finally is saying, get off our border. Imagine if Russia had military on the border of Mexico and Texas and said, hey, we're here to defend Mexico. America would say, get off our border. But the Russians would say, but we're here with Mexico. We're defending Mexico. Stop encouraging on Mexico. So America will put soldiers on their border, on their side of the border, and the Russians will say, if you don't get your soldiers off your border, we're going to attack you. That's what's going on right now in the Ukraine. Russia is putting soldiers on their own border, and America and NATO, the UK and all of them are saying, you need to get your soldiers off your border.
Bullies.
No, this is really, they're really doing this to see what Russia got. They need money. Biden just took them out of Afghanistan. Raytheon and them need their money. It's like, well, somebody got to be fighting. So they're trying to trick Ukraine and go to war with Russia. They're not gonna help them. They're gonna lose their military. I mean, they're gonna lose their tanks and weaponry. And what they gonna have? What's gonna happen after that? They're gonna sell them some more weapons. We need our money. You took us out of Afghanistan. You gotta put us somewhere. Somebody got to go to war. We need to make the military industrial complex need their money. And that's why they passing that bill now to give them the money so they can get ready for the Ukraine. Now watch this. Right groups demand Israel stop arming neo-Nazis in the Ukraine. You hear that? All right, hey, look at this.
We notice you're running an ad blocker.
I find it funny too, by the way, now that we see this. Haaretz is a Israeli news publication. But look who they have on their website.
Joe Biden.
And Netanyahu. He's no longer the president or prime minister or whatever. Why is he still up there? Why is Netanyahu still up there?
Because he's still running it probably behind the scenes.
He's not running. That other dude. The other dude definitely running shit. Hold on. Now this story was written on July 9th, 2018. Why would they be funding a Nazi group in Ukraine? Why would Israel be funding Nazi groups in Ukraine? I'm just gonna leave that there.
So much trauma.
I'm gonna leave that there. You just think on that. You know, I'm gonna say this right here. It's always good to control both sides. And that's kind of a point that I think that we're gonna end on this. Here's a picture here. This is the Ukrainian armed military members. They're like flat out Nazis. Why would you fund Nazis in Ukraine? Almost like you're trying to create a terrorist group. Almost like ISIS. Almost like what's the other one?
Which one?
Yeah, ISIS and what's the other one they always talk about? The one that's supposed they blame on 9/11.
Oh, Al Qaeda.
Al Qaeda, yeah. Almost like it's good to control both sides, but yeah. But anyway, man, this is long enough. You kind of spent, I can tell. This is gonna be a long episode.
This is a very long episode.
Is it? Let me see.
Yes.
How long is it?
Almost 3 hours, which is normal.
Yeah, almost. But all right, man. We done with this one. This is gonna be this. This is it. Hope y'all enjoy. You got anything else you want to say?
No, thanks for supporting the channel. We hope you made it to the end.
I always put clips in so they can just skip through anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's a long, I mean, even if I want to go back and watch it,
yeah,
it's not all watched in one segment. It's like
you watch
2 parts.
You watch it in parts. It is what it is.
Because I run.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I understand if you can't get through one segment, you have to do the second part.
Well, yeah, it's cool, man. But anyway, man, I hope y'all enjoy it. Hope y'all stay safe. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share it. But yeah, man, y'all be safe. All praise to the Most High. And peace, man.
Thank you.